a ground ball up the left side. Pass, roll in. One will score. It's in the gap. It gets by the outfielders. Jordheim goes back. Two will score. Here's the throw down to third. Not in time as Welsh.
Ivy throws it back in. We'll see if the relay comes home. It does not. It's an RBI single.
Called strike three.
Halsted Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is proud to present to you this broadcast on yourliveevent.com.
As we get ready for our final game here of the Enderlin Baseball Jamboree, it is our Irie Insurance pregame show. For more information, go online to irieins.com. That again is irieins.com. I'm Chase Miller alongside Jake Watroba, and thanks for tuning in here to the Enderlin Baseball Tournament, or Jamboree, again on yourliveevent.com, as we have scheduled at least 7 more innings of baseball here in Enderlin from Hendrickson Field between the Central Cass Squirrels, who now sit at 4-1 on the season, going up against the 2-2 Tornadoes of the Oaks variety here. These two teams met a little bit earlier on, in which it was a 6-3 win for the Central Cass Squirrels and Oaks earlier this season, and they'll look to add another win here against the Tornadoes on the opposite side. Oaks will look to finish off today 2-0, the same for Central Cass. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, it's the starting lineups coming up around the corner here on yourliveevent.com.
At Castleton Lumber, they want to be part of every stage of your building project from the ground up. Let them assist with planning your project timeline in a way that's affordable and efficient. Castleton Lumber has everything you need to get the look you love with windows, siding, roofing, and doors. From choosing the right materials to the finishing touches, you can count on the folks at Castleton Lumber. Stop in and talk with the crew today or call 347-4471. That's 347-4471.
My name is Jared, born and raised in Minnesota, and I'm a project director at Enbridge. Enbridge is more than a pipeline company. It's a company participating in renewable energy projects in Minnesota and abroad, and I'm really proud to be working here.
We believe a cleaner energy future is achievable. For over 20 years, we've been early adopters of renewable energy, and we're proudly committed to net zero emissions by 2050. To hear more from Jared, visit enbridge.com/Jared. That's Jerrid.
Enderlin Insurance Agency welcomes all the players, coaches, and fans to the Enderlin Baseball Jamboree. At Enderlin Insurance Agency, they're here to help you protect what you've worked hard to earn. Whether it's your home, vehicle, business, or a combination of all these, they have you covered. Enderlin Insurance Agency is committed to a high standard of excellence in all that they do, and to establish a firm relationship of mutual trust and service with each of their clients. Give Deb, Luba, or Adam a call today at 437-2444.
The first inning as we get to our starting lineups here. Fletcher Wilprecht will start things off, the senior pitcher, batting leadoff here for the Oaks Tornadoes. James Traynor, the sophomore, the second baseman, and then Xavier Vossler, the senior catcher, batting third. Gavin Christensen, the senior left fielder, batting fourth, with Brogan Roney, the junior shortstop, batting fifth. Max Wallach, the junior center fielder, sixth. Deegan Rourke, the sophomore first baseman, seventh. Dylan Rodine, the senior right fielder, batting eighth, and Michael Hoisted, the senior third baseman, batting ninth. This is our Irie Insurance pregame show as we get you ready for the final first pitch of the Enderlin Baseball Tournament at 7:19 here on yourliveevent.com. As we'll have 1-0 upcoming for the Central Cass Squirrels. Be 1-0 upcoming here to Fletcher Wilprecht. And the pitch. This one will miss for a ball, now 2-0. Broughton in left field, Carter Verkota in center. Bussey's going to be in right. Mitchell at third base with Maju at short, Covervig at second, Macao at first. And so far, Cooper Johnson, 3 pitches, 3 balls. Parker behind the plate, now at 3-0. Chase Miller alongside Jake Watroba with you here. It's Oaks in Central Cass in our nightcap. The pitch, that'll be in there for a strike at 3-1. Missed any of our coverage from earlier here of the Enderlin Baseball Tournament, you can do so by going to yourliveevent.com, and that'll be a 5-pitch walk as Johnson will get Volprecht on at first base. So we'll see what we're going to find out. Jake, what did you like from both of these teams, particularly Oaks in their win against Enderlin and Central Cass in their last win here against the Bull Stars? What did you like from both these teams earlier this afternoon?
Well, for the Central Cass Squirrels, it was the bats. The bats were really clicking last game against the Ball Stars. And for the Tornadoes, it was the pitching. I thought they did a very good job there in their game against Enderlin. So, to me, those are the two things that stood out for both of those ball clubs.
Yeah, the Enderlin Eagles and the Oaks Tornadoes. Oaks won 16-6. The Tornadoes were able to score a run in every inning through 5, and this will be a wild pitch. And so far, Cooper Johnson, 6 balls on 7 pitches, will allow Wilprecht to get to second base now. And you look, 3 runs in the first, 4 in the second, 5 in the third, 1 in the fourth, and 3 in the fifth for the Oaks Tornadoes. And really, it was just the top any part of the lineup that was able to do some damage here. 3-1 offering. That'll be in there for a strike. This will be now 2-1, excuse me. So 2 balls, 1 strike with a runner at second again is Wilprecht. There's Johnson. Looks back the runner. Here's the pitch to Trainer. That'll miss for a ball. Now 3-1. James Trainer had 3 walks in their game against the Enderlin Eagles, able to score 3 times. And, well, he'll add a walk here. This one is going to get by Porker, so runners will be at the corners. So Wilprecht will be at third base. Trainer will earn the free pass to second. And now we'll have runners at the corners with nobody out. And the Oaks Tornadoes trying to jump on Cooper Johnson here in the top of the first inning.
Well, that's exactly what Central Cass was able to do to the Ball Stars last game. They jumped out to that quick 2-0 lead and never looked back.
Xavier Vossler right now, the senior catcher, batting third. And going to second base on the way will be James Trainer with the stolen base. Runners in scoring position, and that'll be a ball on the way here to Vossler. Now 1-0. So Fletcher Wilprecht, Trainer, and Vossler. Johnson has fallen behind in the count. 1-0 pitch. Missing for a ball, now 2-0. 2 balls. No strikes to the number 3 batter here in the senior catcher tonight with Vossler. 2-0 pitch fouled back, now 2-1. For the Oaks Tornadoes, Vossler in their win against the Enderlin Eagles, able to go a run score in the third. Went 0 for 3 from the plate. 2-1 pitch. Good looking pitch there by Cooper Johnson in the zone.
Yeah, Johnson a little erratic here to start this ball game, just trying to find his command and trying to get that ball over the plate.
2-2. Strike 3 looking, and that's a large out here for Cooper Johnson. 1 down now here in the top of the first inning.
That's a big strikeout.
As coming up will be Gavin Christensen. Christensen was part of our Enbridge Energy Player of the Game in their win against the Enderlin Eagles. The senior left fielder comes up to the plate with a chance to drive in some runs, which is what he did against the Eagles. He'll take a strike now, 0-1. In that contest against Enderlin, Christensen with 3 runs scored, 2 runs driven in, 2 hits, and 2 at-bats. No balls, 1 strike as Christensen takes a look at head coach Greg Dobitz. It's the call with Wilprecht at third, Trainer at second. This one fouled, now 0-2. So after not able to find the strike zone here, Cooper Johnson now finding a little rhythm here in these last couple of pitches on the mound for Central Cass. Johnson will look in, and the pitch. This one is going to be hit on the ground. That'll be to shortstop. Majos there goes across the diamond. A run does come in, so a productive out here for Christensen. And drawing first blood on our Bank North scoreboard, it will be the Oaks Tornadoes.
Yeah, good piece of hitting there for the Tornadoes. They're able to advance the runner home, and you trade the run for the out there and get a quick 1-0 lead. Playing a team like Central Cass, that's important to get out to that quick and early lead to put the pressure on them to answer the call once this inning eventually flips to the bottom of the first.
Christensen with the RBI here in the top of the first inning. The pitch will miss out of the zone as we'll have to swap our scoreboards here in a moment. So 1-0 on the way. And the pitch. This one will be in there for a strike on the swing and miss. As the Central Cass Squirrels, again, the home team here in this one against the Oaks Tornadoes. It is a 1-ball, 1-strike count here. And that'll miss outside for a ball, now 2-1. Brogan Roney at the plate with a large run at third base here for the Tornadoes after they got their first 2 runners on. Would like to get 2 across, and they're going to get that second run across potentially here. Coming in to score after the wild pitch will be Trainer. So there is that second run here coming across. So Trainer will come in. And so come in on the wild pitch here in the top of the second inning. And now it's 2-0 in favor of the Oaks Tornadoes. The pitch here for Johnson. And this will be back to the backstop. Going from first base will be Brogan Roney here as he will stay at first. And so far it's been the free passes that have hurt. Here the Cooper Johnson as he had a walk to Wilprecht, a walk to Trainer. Able to strike out Vossler, reaching on a fielder's choice again. 6-3 on the out, with Christensen with the RBI, and then Roney here with the walk is coming in to score, was Trainer on the wild pitch.
Well, they do say, Chase, walks will haunt.
Walks will haunt, especially in this kind of conditions. As this will be going through, was there a swing at that one, or did it go off the glove of the catcher here? Parker going to second base is going to be Roney, as he will now be in scoring position. So 1 ball, 1 strike here to Max Wallach, the junior center fielder. As you'll have Johnson look back the runner, the 1-1. In there for a strike at 1-2. Rurik is due up next here for the Tornadoes. 1 ball, 2 strikes here to the number 6 batter in this Tornado lineup. The 1-2 offering. That'll be into the backstop here, and this will allow the runner to scamper to third in Roney. So a wild pitch, and walks will hunt. It's not quite to the, let's see here, April into October. I suppose we are about 6 weeks away from Halloween. If you're a fan of Jack Skellington and that kind of a thing for the holidays. The pitch. Swung on and miss, and that'll retire the side. Johnson strikes out 2. He walks 3, however, and there's 2 runs across on no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. We played a half inning on our Bank North scoreboard. It's Oaks 2, Central Cass scoreless here on YourLiveEvent.com.
The Kindred Vikings Booster Club is an organization of parents and community members that supports and encourages the advancement to Kindred athletic programs, focusing on wholesome school spirit, promoting good sportsmanship, and developing high ideals of character. For more information, or if you'd like to be part of the Kindred Vikings Booster Club, send an email to kindredboosterclub@gmail.com. That's kindredboosterclub@gmail.com. Go Vikings! It's a North Dakota All-Star Gathering on your live event, as we'll have coverage of the Shields Softball All-Star Series on June 5th and 6th.
And the 1-2. Hit on the ground. It's going to sneak through the middle for a base hit.
The Optimist Volleyball Series on June 12th and 13th.
This one comes Olivia Vetter, back set, blocked at the net.
Plus the Lions All-Star Basketball Series on July 10th and 11th.
Now it's with Class A. Here's Michael Nile with the windmill duck.
For more information, go to YourLiveEvent.com.
This is Chris from RDK Enterprises, your local precision planting dealer. Say thank you to the farmers you come into contact with every day. They have chosen a career that is as much their deep passion as it is an absolute necessity for you and I. Spring is upon us and there will be farm equipment on the roads. Give them your patience and room to do their jobs. Trust me, they would rather be off the road working in their field than dealing with traffic. From all of us here at RDK Enterprises, we say thank you and have a safe spring.
So Oaks scores 2 here in the top of the first inning. Christensen RBI, and then a Trainer wild pitch coming in to score from third. Here's Central Cass going up against Fletcher Wilprecht here on the mound for the Oaks Tornadoes. Central Cass will have Carter Verkota, the junior center fielder, batting first. Convervent, the senior second baseman, batting second, and Braden Mitchell, the junior third baseman, batting third. Batting cleanup is Carter Maggio, Cooper Johnson fifth, and Noah McCow is batting sixth. Here's the pitch, swung on and fouled back for a strike to Verkota, now 0-1. Jackson Parker, the junior catcher, seventh. Mason Bussey, the senior right fielder, eighth, and then Logan Broughton batting ninth. The righty, Fletcher Wilprecht, here with the 0-1. That'll miss just slow. Now 1-1. Christensen, that's Gavin in left field. Wallach in center and Rodine in right. Rorick at first with Trainer at second. Roney at shortstop. Hoisted at third. And Bossler behind the plate as he comes out of his crouch position. Now at 2-1. Carter Verkota, last game for the Central Cass Squirrels. Able to have a double with a run scored and an RBI in the second. Walked with a run scored in the third. For Central Cass in their win over the Ball Stars. This one is going to be a high fly. That's to the second baseman. And we'll have Trainer just on the lip of the grass here, able to make the out. 4 pitches and Verkota is retired. So Sam Converbig will come up next here for the Central Cass Squirrels. Central Cass will have their next broadcast here on YourLiveEvent.com a week from today in Thompson. Joe Lincella will have the call as the Squirrels will play a 7-inning game against the Tommies, and then the Thompson Tommies will play a Region 2 game following that with Hatton Northwood after the rescheduling, the shuffling of decks, if you will. And I'm kind of liked what some of the ADs, and it makes sense, have done, particularly those on the eastern side of the state, which is if you have a game and you need to reschedule a makeup game, whether it's a region game or not, and you already have umpires coming and you already have the field, why not maybe see if you can sneak another game on top of it and almost make it work like a triangular, Jake?
Yeah, it's a smart idea, especially considering how hectic this spring schedule has been with the weather and everything like that. You're trying to get as many games as you can, as many games you can get as possible, so why not try it like that?
2 balls, 1 strike here to the second batter for Converbig. This one's going to be hit on the ground. Fielding his position there is Wilprecht. Able to stay with it. Goes 1-3 on the putout for the second out. Braden Mitchell, the junior third baseman, will step up to the plate now for Central Cass. Able to see some facilities continue to make their way through. Obviously, turf has been the name of the game for the past decade, and everybody was, Fargo Shanley had the first turf, about 13 years ago, and now pretty much everybody in Fargo from a public school system has it. Central Cass from their football and softball complex. So something that we're seeing and will be at the baseball level. The one thing for baseball is, do you want it all turfed, or would you just like the infield turfed? And particularly up here with Mother Nature like this, if you get it all turfed, then you don't have to worry so much about the warning track at particular times.
That, and I'm sure it's probably easier to clear off from a snow perspective as well if it's all turf versus versus grass. As you can see here, we have a 10-foot tall mound of snow in center field.
2 balls and no strikes. And again, these multi-sports complexes, as we see here in Enderlin, it doubles as their football facility as well. This one will miss for a ball. Now 3-0 with Carter Maggio due up next. Fletcher Wilprecht with a pop-out with Verkota, then a grounder with Converbig here. As Fletcher winds and delivers. 3-0 pitch, a 4-pitch walk, and the first time tonight for the Squirrels, they will have a runner on against the Oaks Tornadoes. Carter Maggio with the 3-run home run in the last game here for Central Cass. That came again in the 4th inning. That 3-run shot made it 17-0 Central Cass. They will hope that the Bats stay with them here in this follow-up game. Breaking ball will miss low for a ball to the junior shortstop, now 1-0. The Oaks Tornadoes bottom of the lineup due up next, 7, 8, and 9 batters in the top of the second inning. Maggio will take the 1-0. Good job by Vossler keeping it in front of him. Now 2-0, which keeps Mitchell at first base. This one an interesting ball game for both teams. Central Cass played one to get one. The Oaks Tornadoes, have a game in between to kind of rest and recollect your thoughts and play another contest here, as it's 3-0 Northern Cass got their games in and got done about 1 o'clock and said, all right, let's Peter Zane get out of here and enjoy the rest of the weekend about 6 hours ago. So depending on the situation of where you were. This one will miss, and that'll be a 4-pitch walk. So back-to-back batters are on board with a 4-pitch walk here, and 2 down, and Central Cass now threatening, and Cooper Johnson a chance to help his own cause here with 2 down and runners at first and second.
Yeah, and we saw last game Cooper Johnson with that lace that homer to the just over the right center field wall up by the press box for Enderlin football in the Squirrels' previous game here in the Enderlin Jamboree. So we'll see if we can replicate that.
And Johnson with a run scored, a couple of hits, a walk as well in the first, which was a ground out in the 4th inning. So can that add on to it with Maggio, again with that home run, now at first base, and Mitchell takes second here from the game prior. Good rip there by Cooper Johnson, now 0-1. Swung on through the zone, Fletcher Wilprecht again wheeling and dealing so far. First 2 guys out, not really getting much out of the outfield. The next 2 guys able to walk, and this one now will be out of the zone at 1-1. Cooper Johnson, then Noah McCow here, the 5-6 batters for head coach Maggio. Dustin, the head coach for the Squirrels. Greg Dobitz, the head coach for the Oaks Tornadoes. The pitch, that'll be off the catcher Vossler, which will allow the runners to scamper up 90 feet. So Mitchell will go to third. Maggio will go to second after the pass ball on that one. And now for Cooper Johnson, a single could potentially tie this puppy up at 2 apiece. So runners at second and third right now with Cooper Johnson. After taking a strike, sees 2 balls, and Wilprecht throws, and he hits a strike, able to split the plate there at 2-2. Awfully large pitch here for Fletcher Wilprecht going up against the opposition in the pitcher here in Cooper Johnson. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs with 2 runners on, and Oaks leads by 2. It's Deuces Wild here on a Saturday night.
Everything ends in 2s right now.
2-2. And swung on a miss, and Wilprecht retires the side on the strikeout of Johnson. So the 2-out rally comes up short. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. 1 complete on our Bank North scoreboard. It's Oaks that leads it by 2.
Hunter Insurance Agency is a locally owned full-service agency that provides protection and coverage in a number of different areas. Hunter Insurance Agency offers multi-peril crop insurance, crop hail insurance, and farm insurance for buildings and equipment. Plus, they offer home, auto, life, and business insurance. For more information, go online to hunterinsuranceagency.com or stop in and speak with Johnny Jorgensen at Hunter Insurance Agency at 109 Main Street in Hunter.
This is Bailey Scott, a senior at Fargo Davies High School and the 2022-23 North Dakota High School Activities Association Distinguished Student. Educational athletics, including games like this one, teach a lifetime values such as respect for your opponents, coaches, officials, and classmates. There are few better places than athletic competition to demonstrate respect for others. By your demonstration of respect for those participating and watching today, you underscore that the most important part of high school competition is the people involved and not the game itself. A public service message from the North Dakota High School Activities Association and this radio station.
Top of the second inning here on our Bank North scoreboard. Oaks 2, Central Cass scoreless here. Chase Miller, Jake Watroba with you. Both pitchers able to get out of a little bit of a situation. The only difference is that Cooper Johnson had a couple runs come in, but he limited it to 2 as there was a runner stranded at third base with Roney. On the opposite side, Fletcher Wilprecht 2 up, 2 down quickly. Walk 2, pass ball to get runners in scoring position, then strikes out Cooper Johnson to retire the side in the first inning. Jake, so far 1 inning in the books here. What have you taken away so far with no hits, but both teams with runners on in this first inning?
To the tail of this that first inning is the lack of 2-out hitting. Single there for Central Cass and Cooper Johnson. It ties the ball game up, and you can argue the same thing for the Oaks Tornadoes too. You get a couple 2-out hits there, and maybe this isn't a 2-run lead. It might be a much bigger lead for the Tornadoes.
As the Tornadoes right now, Rorick with Rodin and Hoist at 7, 8, and 9 as Johnson takes the mound for his second inning of work. That'll be a ball now 1-0. Rourke taking a look at what he did against the Enderlin Eagles after this pitch. We'll take a strike at 1-1. Walked, and then walked. So he didn't even record an at bat. Unable to score, but 3 walks. This one's going to high in the air. Going to be playable to center field for Verkota as we're starting to get some showers coming back down on this off again, on again showers. Lazy fly to center, 3 pitches in, and Rourke is retired. Seen this more a little bit in the afternoon and the evening. Really didn't see this kind of weather and the morning session, and Verkota fortunately was able to get out of the game with the Ball Stars with the final out before the heavens kind of broke up open a little bit here in Enderlin in the game prior.
Yeah, for about 10 minutes, there was even some hail in some of that rain.
As Dylan Rodine, the senior right fielder, the pitch. That'll miss for a ball. On the way, so 2 balls, no strikes here to the senior right fielder. Johnson, the 2-0. That one will go to the backstop. And now it's going to be 3-0 on the way. Cooper Johnson with 3 walks and a strikeout. This kind of has a little bit of everything. Feels like winter. At times has a hint of spring. Definitely feels like fall, but then we have the ominous clouds like summer here, Jake. Welcome to the upper Midwest in late April. That's a 4-pitch walk on the way for Rodine. So 3 walks in the first, a walk here in the second, 2 strikeouts so far for Johnson on 4 outs recorded, and now it's Michael Hoisted, the senior third baseman, to the plate for the Oaks Tornadoes. Runner at first is Rodine here for the Tornadoes. There's the flip over to first. Macau is covering first base, holding him on, and that's going to be not in time to apply the tag. Kind of picturesque, though, in the background with the water tower as we see, a little bit of the elevator as well here in Enderlin. The pitch. This one going to get past the catcher of Parker and allow the base runner to go to second base here. So Rodine, after the pass ball, will get to second. And the Oaks Tornadoes, with no hits, have scored 2 runs, and they're threatening here again in the top of the second inning.
Well, it's kind of fitting, Chase. You talk about ominous clouds, and here we have the Oaks Tornadoes playing. It kind of fits, huh?
It does, 100%. This one will be a strike now over to Michael Hoisted. So it'll be 1 ball and 1 strike. Here to the number 9 batter in the Tornado lineup. The pitch in there for a strike at 1-2. And we mentioned about Halloween colors earlier, talked about Halloween. So that, now the Tornadoes. Central Cass out in those white uniforms. The pitch, I'll miss low. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes. The goal here in Enderlin will be on 18th and the 20th to go 2-0. If you go 2-0 simply, you're going to host then on the 22nd in that championship series. This is going to be a ball, makes the count full, and it's a wild pitch. And Rodine now gets to third base. So if you can stay out of the playing game on the 16th, take care of advantage on the 18th, you take care of business on the 20th, you can find yourself hosting a championship series on your home venue. 3-2 pitch, swung on, foul back, and it'll still stay at 3-2.
Yeah, I'm sure both of these managers are telling both their ball clubs, we just got to keep winning ball games.
Just keep stacking them up right now. Find a way to put your seed line. Again, the highest seed remaining would host. Here's the pitch. This one will be in the dirt. That's going to be a walk, and Hoisted will take first base. So 3 walks in the first, 2 so far in the second, 2 strikeouts, no hits for Cooper Johnson, and Coach Maggio will come out on the mound here for the Central Cass Squirrels as the infield will come in and talk it over now for Central Cass. So just a chance to Cooper Johnson collect himself here as he goes through the lineup the second time around with Fletcher Wilprecht coming up to the batter's box here for the Oaks Tornadoes. And now for Coach Greg Dobitz, you wonder what you have with Hoisted at first and Rodine at third. We've seen him make a couple of plays so far in terms of allowing that runner to maybe have a secondary little late lead or late steal, or trying to just straight steal right off the bat, trying to get a runner in scoring position. So a lot of stuff to talk about for both here in the second inning.
In your post-game interview, following Central Cass's win over the Ball Stars. Carter Vercoda kind of hinted towards Oaks. They like to do some sneaky things in the base pass, so that's definitely something that we'll have to keep an eye on, and obviously the Squirrels will need to keep an eye on as well.
Wilprecht with a walk and a run scored, and right on cue, going down. Here's the throw to second, and they'll cut it off in front of it with Kovervig to see if the runner was going to go home. And Hoisted will take the stolen base now with runners in scoring position. And sometimes even as a defense, you'll allow that to see if you can maybe get the lead runner if he's coming in where you cut it off in front, as Kovervig did there.
Trying to bait him to see if he'll go.
So that'll be a ball on the play here to Wilprecht. The 1-0. That'll miss for a ball at 2-0. Trainer due up next.
The one thing about that stolen bag is it breaks up the double play ball now too. So that's one less thing that the Squirrels have at their disposal.
Kind of feels very reminiscent of what we saw in the first here for the Oaks Tornadoes to plate 2 runs across. 2-0. This one will be in the dirt now, 3-0. 3 balls, no strikes here. If Wilprecht reaches base, it'll be bases full of Tornadoes with James Trainer coming up next. So far, there's been just 1 ball in play in the first inning with the grounder, then a fly out in the second. So just 2 balls have been put in play, but the Tornadoes looking for their pitch, being selective. 3-0 pitch. There's a strike now at 3-1. So 1 down. The Tornadoes looking to add on to their 2-0 lead as Dobitz giving the base runner Rodin some instructions at third, and that's going to be a 5-pitch walk. And now it'll be James Trainer, bases loaded, and we'll see what the infield does for Central Cass. The middle will try to turn 2. The corners will look to gun down the runner at home if they potentially can. So Rodin again at third, Hoisted at second, Wilprecht at first. The pitch by Johnson misses up in the zone at 1-0. And Trainer with a walk and a stolen base and a run scored back in the first. Contest that's nearly a half hour old. This one, a little excuse me. That one looks to be all right. About another 1.5 foot it would have hit right pretty much in the press box.
Maybe ended the stream on it taking our laptop out.
Possibly. About another 5 feet over one side, we would have been ducking and covering, and about another 2 feet up. The 1-1 little squeeze play. This one will get back, and it'll be 1-2. That's one thing I think in Major League Baseball. We'll be curious to see if that small ball variety kind of gets into the game a little bit more now. Been fun to see like the Ozzie Smith St. Louis Cardinals playing in today's day of baseball. You know, a little bit different with the big power hitters with something that's a little 180 degrees different. 1-2. The pitch. Strike 3 looking, and Cooper Johnson gets his 3rd strikeout of the evening. Large out for out number 2 here in the second.
Massive out there for Cooper Johnson. Allows the Central Cass Squirrels defense to just play at normal depths now. They don't have to worry about holding any runners on, playing the corner infielders in. They can just kind of relax now, and Cooper Johnson can just let his defense do his thing behind them and get them out of the inning.
Xavier Vossler, the catcher, will step up to the plate, and to your point, outfield playing straight away, playing behind the runners Macau at first, and just making sure if Vossler were to possibly squeeze at third base and also keep the runner close at third is going to be Mitchell. Taking his lead off at third is Rodin, and Cooper Johnson working from the stretch. This one will be blocked in the dirt, now 1-0 to Vossler. Vossler struck out after working the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes in the first inning. Bases full of Squirrels here as Central Cass will send their 6, 7, and 8 batters. And this one comes in and almost hits him, goes to the backstop. Coming in to score is going to be Rodin, and it's now 3-0 Oaks.
Unfortunate break there for Cooper Johnson. Looked like he was potentially wiggling his way out of this jam, and the pass ball there allows the run to score for the Tornadoes.
So Rodin will come in to score. This one is going to be popped up. A chance for the Squirrels, and that'll be out of play. So now 2-1. Parker was trying to find a way if that one could possibly stay in play. Instead, it'll be 2 balls and 1 strike here. And the Tornadoes, again, have done all their scoring with no hits. 6 walks so far. They've taken advantage with some stolen bases, a wild pitch, a pass ball here and there, and effective way to still score runs. Just a small ball variety. The pitch, that'll miss. Good-looking pitch by Johnson there. One of the better fastballs that was located right about near the zone, just a little bit out of it. Now 3-1. That'll be in there for a strike at 3-2. 6th batter of the inning here for the Oaks Tornadoes. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Johnson looking for his 2nd straight strikeout. Vossler, we'll see Johnson step off here with runners in scoring position. So Johnson collects his breath, toes the rubber, and the 3-2 upcoming. Swung on and missed, and that'll retire the side as Johnson gets his 2nd strikeout of the inning, but a run does come across. No hits, there were no errors, and 2 Oaks Tornadoes left on base. We go to the bottom of the 2nd inning with a new score on our Bank North scoreboard. It's Oaks 3, Central Cass scoreless here on your liveevent.com.
One size does not fit all. As a small business employer, you have many great benefit options. Hello, Angela here with the Irie Insurance Benefits Connect team. We know shopping for employee insurance benefits can be a confusing and intimidating task for employers. Not to mention one more thing on your plate. Let Irie Insurance Benefits Connect guide you through the process. We take a unique approach to providing benefits through education, communication, and a personal touch. To find out more, go to IrieInsurance.com.
Honesty, loyalty, integrity. At Bank North, we've remained true to these values for generations. They shape the way we do business, work with customers, and support our communities. We've been here for more than a century, helping people grow farms and businesses, finance homes, and pursue their dreams. It's values-based banking, and it's all about working together to strengthen the common threads that bind us together. Bank North, always true.
Enderlin Area Schools is committed to providing students with optimal learning opportunities so they can reach their full potential. Enderlin Area Schools creates learners who believe in the power of their education to help them learn, excel, influence their world, and direct their future. Enderlin Area Schools take pride in their school and community. For up-to-date information, go online to enderlin.k12.nd.us. Good luck to the Eagles participating in all activities throughout the year.
Chase Miller, Jake Watroba, and you here on YourLiveEvent.com. Make sure you thank all of our sponsors for allowing us to be here to bring you the Enderlin Baseball Jamboree here on YourLiveEvent.com. Games that happened earlier in the day. Starting at 9 o'clock in the morning, a little breakfast and baseball for you between Kindred Richland and Northern Cass. It was a non-ranging game. Kindred Richland won 5-2. Tate Miller with the complete game 2-hitter in that win for the Vikings. And then at 11 o'clock, Northern Cass picked up a win over the Ball Stars, 12-1-6. Metzger with 8 strikeouts and Trey Huszar with 6 strikeouts in relief. Noah Macau, the sophomore first baseman, takes a ball 1-0. Now we'll take a ball at 2-0. 1 o'clock, Kindred Richland over Enderlin in 5 innings, 15-3. Max Opgran with a grand slam, 2 homers with 5 runs driven in. This one will be in there for a strike at 2-1. Oaks then in 5 over Enderlin, 16-6. And then Central Cass won in 5 over the Ball Stars, 17-0. This one's going to be hit in the air right to the third baseman. Hoisted, bobbles it, comes back up, firing 5-3 on the putout to retire Noah Macau as Jackson Parker comes up to the plate. And last 3 games, Jake, we had 15 runs, then 16 runs, and then 17 runs by the victorious. I don't know if we'll get 18 here to continue that trend in our final game.
Hey, never say never, but yeah, I would like to think that that's not very likely that we're going to have 18 runs in this game by either Oaks or Central Cass.
And never say never. Once a Justin Bieber song about 15 years ago now.
Now we're dating ourselves at this point when you're saying 15 years ago.
Bieber came on the scene. 1-0 pitch. That'll now be 1-1 here to Jackson Parker. So 1 ball, 1 strike here to the number 7 batter in the Central Cass lineup, the junior catcher. He'll take a breaking ball for a strike at 1-2 with Mason Bussey is due up next. So right now Fletcher Wilprecht got the breaking ball going. They're able to locate it. What does he throw here on the 1-2 to Parker? On this, we'll go to the backstop at 2-2 on the miss. Able to be in Jamestown last year for the state baseball tournament 2 years ago, and then last season at Newman Outdoor Field. This year goes to Corbett and Minot. The 2-2 missing up in the zone at 3-2. So 3 balls, 2 strikes here for the junior catcher with 1 out as the Central Cass Squirrels got a little something brewing last half inning, but that was with 2 outs. So trying to do it here with 1. Wilprecht the 3-2. Check swing did not go. They're going to appeal, and they'll say he did not. So that's going to be a walk on the way for Parker, and we'll see if he gets a courtesy runner. Very similar to Cooper Johnson. Fletcher Wilprecht has 4 outs. No one has got on base via hit. It's just been via the walk so far. As Parker, we're going to get a courtesy runner on here for the Central Cass Squirrels. And coming on for Parker, will be coming on as we'll have Pearson. So Parker will check out after the walk. Pearson will come on for the courtesy runner, and Mason Bussey will step up to the plate. The pitch by Wilprecht. Breaking ball over for a strike on pitch number 1. Now ahead in the count at 0-1. Runner at first base, again, is Pearson. Wilprecht looks back the runner, and the pitch. That'll be in the dirt. Vossler able to keep it in front of him. Now 1 ball and 1 strike with Logan Broughton due up next.
You know, Chase, I kind of wonder here in the situation if they don't try to steal second base with Pearson just to kind of maybe try to get some things going for them.
Here's going to be a slow chopper. Going to be a difficult play. Backhanded by the pitcher. Oh, what a gun. Fletcher Wilprecht able to go backhand, able to plant his right foot, and threw an absolute Peter Rourke at first base to retire Bussey at first.
Yeah, great play by Wilprecht there to get off the mound and field that ball just up the third baseline, and like you said, fire a P over to first base.
And the weather right now, Jake, is almost becoming full 60 when we reached Enderlin 12 hours ago. Calm, not too much wind, about maybe same temperature as it was about 12 hours ago here at Hendrickson Field, as that one's going to be a ball in the outer part of the plate here to Logan Broughton.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Things kind of seem to have came full circle here. Jeez.
Very much so. This one will get past the catcher, Vossler, allow Pearson to scamper to third base here, so it'll be 1 ball and 1 strike now with 2 outs here and a runner at third. Central Cass looking for their first hit off of Fletcher Wilprecht here, or another wild pitch or a pass ball would do the trick as well to get the first run of the game here for Central Cass. As taking his leadoff third is going to be Pearson. That one will be a ball at 2-1 for the count.
This already feels like a big spot in the game for the Squirrels here. Even though it's 1 run, you still want to scratch it across the plate there.
2-1 to make it 3-1. Yeah, the longer you just kind of have the goose egg, the more you give Oakston a chance to just add on to the lead a little bit here. And they've been having runners on and being patient against Cooper Johnson in their own right.
Yeah, you want to try to steal back some of that momentum there. Like I said, even if it's 1 run, it's 1 run,
3 balls, 1 strike here as Fletcher Wilprecht looks back. The runner at third. This one is going to be fouled. Back to Highway 46 here, and we'll have a 3-2 upcoming.
Your state champion speech team, Enderlin.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here with a runner at third base with Pearson. There's the 3-2 pitch upcoming here for the Fletcher Wilprecht. The pitch. And this one will be a ball. The Oaks Tornadoes will looking potentially to see if that was going to be coming through the zone, if he maybe would have checked swing, but that'll be a ball on the way here, and runners will be at the corners. As congratulations goes out to the Enderlin Eagles state speech champs as we have a little parade coming in here, making their way. So congratulations again goes to Enderlin. And right now with all the hubbub on Highway 46, they're going to allow kind of it coming through. Have the flashers on and the bus coming through and the horns are getting honked. And now a chance here for the Central Cass Squirrels to try to get their first run with runners at the corners. Back to the top of the lineup here with Verkota as stepping off is Wilprecht. Verkota popped out his last time up to the second baseman in Trainer. And to Jake's point earlier, a large at bat here for Verkota, swung on and missed 0-1. The same thing for Wilprecht. If he can get out of the inning with 2 runners in the first and now try to get out of the inning with 2 runners on in the second, trying to get the Oaks bats back to the plate here, up by 3 right now to go to the top of the third. 0-1, breaking ball. That'll be in there for a strike. Runner goes to second base here on the delayed steal for Broughton. But it'll be 0-2 upcoming for Verkota, who's going to have to battle now down in the count. No balls, 2 strikes. Fletcher Wilprecht here will toe the rubber. Look back the runners, and we'll have a time here at the plate.
There's a lot of real estate out there in left center field for Verkota. If he can find that gap, it'll for sure score these 2 runs.
Yeah, both the left center and right center field, with the outfielders kind of playing a little bit more down the line. This one's going to go to the backstop. Coming down the line from third is Pearson. Here's the throw. Is he out? He's out! What a play by Vossler to give it to Fletcher Wilprecht to cover, and they tag Pearson, and that could very well be our Arctic Enterprises feature precision play of the contest. Instead of it being 3-1 with a runner at third base with 2 outs, they're able to retire the side. No runs come across, 1 runner left. We head to the top of the third inning. It's 3-1 Oaks on YourLiveEvent.com.
At Cass County Mutual Insurance Company, they provide services to homeowners, farm owners, tenants, seasonal dwellings, mobile homes, and farm and personal liability. Cass County Mutual Insurance provides local service to all policyholders and is working with clients in 19 counties in the southeast portion of North Dakota. For more information about Cass County Mutual Insurance Company or to find an agent closest to you, go online to CassCountyMutualInsuranceCompany.com and use their agent locator. At Castleton Lumber, they want to be part of every stage of your building project from the ground up. Let them assist with planning your project timeline in a way that's affordable and efficient. Castleton Lumber has everything you need to get the look you love with windows, siding, roofing, and doors. From choosing the right materials to the finishing touches, you can count on the folks at Castleton Lumber. Stop in and talk with the crew today or call 347-4471. That's 347-4471.
Top of the third inning here on your live event. Chase Miller alongside Jake Watroba here, and it's been fun so far here today, Jake, as we have a really good contest brewing, and this one kind of already feels a little bit, if you will, like postseason baseball a little bit in terms of how this game has been played, not hits, right? It's been the small ways to win a baseball game. Yeah, if you're going to have a walk and a wild pitch, you know, you have to string a lot of things together precisely instead of a 2-run homer or just a home run or back-to-back doubles. But it kind of has that feeling a little bit of a postseason baseball could possibly look like in 3 weeks here in Enderlin.
Yeah, I mean, like these are 2 of the better teams here in Class B, and like you said, this might be a potential matchup that we see here in a couple of weeks.
As we'll get to the top of the third inning here, as the sun is making its way back out into right field, hit one deep into left field. This one going back to the warning track. That's going to one-hop, and that'll go into the ivy here, as bringing it back in is going to be Broughton, and that's a leadoff double, the first hit for Oaks, and that's with Gavin Christensen.
Good piece of hitting there by Gavin Christensen, able to hit that ball out to deep left field to find the fence, and Tornado's got something cooking here in the top of the third.
Left field has had like a little bit, what would you say, a magnet to it here with some of those big shots here today. We've seen it from a number of different teams, just that high towering shot to left field, as this one will come over for a strike now to Brogan Roney.
No, that's a good point. We haven't seen really much hit to right field, let alone to the right field wall. Everything's been to center field or out to left field.
The 0-1 pitch will miss for a ball. Now 1-1 is Brogan Roney with a walk. His last time up, able to reach third but was stranded there in the first. Christensen takes his lead off a second. This will miss low for a ball. Now 2-1. So right now the middle part of the order here, the 4, 5, and 6 batters for the Oaks Tornadoes against the Central Cass Squirrels. Johnson looks back the runner at second. The 2-1 pitch. This one going to be hit on the ground, and that's going to be a CNI single to the right-hand side. Bussey comes in at first and able to charge it nicely, and that'll allow the runner to move up to third base here with Christensen. So Christensen at first, Roney able to get to first base with Christensen at third. Back-to-backs hits here for the Oaks Tornadoes. And coming up to the plate here will be Max Wallach. Runners at the corners, and here's where you have to be careful again going up against Oaks. We'll see if Cooper Johnson steps off potentially to see if there's a play. Nope. Runners will stay put. This one will be missing for a ball. Now 1-0. Mitchell at third base, playing on the infield here, on the infield grass, as McCow holding the runner at first. The middle infield will look to turn 2 if they can. The plate. This one's going to be hit in the air. This one is going to die in front of the center fielder. There's Verkota. They'll bluff the throw, and nice job by Verkota coming in and hitting the cutoff man there. And Cooper Johnson one down now here in the top of the third inning.
Yeah, smart throw there by Verkota to find his cutoff man rather than trying to gun down the runner at home plate, even though there probably wasn't going to be an actual attempt or a tag attempt. And who knows, you try to overthrow that ball to the catcher, and all of a sudden maybe it ends up in the Oaks dugout or on the backstop, and then that leads to a run scored.
As Rourke will dig in now against Johnson with runners at the corners. They throw, and this one's going to be airmailed over McCow. Coming in to score from third will be Christensen. Rounding second, on his way to third is Roney here. Here comes the throw. Not going to be in time, and Roney will stay put there. So it'll be an error on the pitcher. A run comes in, and now it's 4-0 in favor of the Tornadoes. So Christensen comes in to score. Roney goes from first to third on the E1. And now it'll be 4-0, and Dustin Maggio wants to come out here and talk it over. So the Oaks Tornadoes have plated a run across in every inning so far. And this one will be via the air to come in to score again is Christensen. Christensen, when they took care of business against the Enderlin Eagles, said, hey, I might have to come up and talk to you guys again. Well, so far, Jake, an RBI and a run scored and a double. I tell you what, he's putting his name back in for another Enbridge Energy t-shirt here tonight.
Yeah, he must really like that. He must really like that Enbridge Energy t-shirt we gave him. Must want a second one.
As you have a runner at third base now here for the Oaks Tornadoes, and just the little things not going right for Central Cass, if you will, and the little things, if you say the way the ball bounces sometimes in football or in basketball, while the ball is going the right side in terms of the baseball here for the Oaks Tornadoes. And they're adding on to their lead right now with the infield playing in. Cooper Johnson goes off speed, outer part of the plate for a strike, now 0-1. So Christensen comes in to score. Roney at third base. Wallach is center field. This one going to be swung on, and now it's going to be 0-2. As you have Rodin due up next. Johnson looking to get the second out, and they get his guys up to the plate here in the butt half of the third. Blocked at the plate with Parker. And playing back-to-back, you always hear it in baseball sometimes, right, in a series. All right, you scored 10, 12 runs, maybe get all your hits out of you in one game, then the next game you only score one. Well, that's kind of maybe Central Cass here after scoring 17 runs in their last game against the Ball Stars. This one is fouled. This will be over the press box. We're starting to get some more shots hit over the press box as this day has continued to, Jake. We might have to duck and cover once before this night is done.
I feel like we're being targeted.
Here comes the 0-2 pitch with Cooper Johnson. 1-2 pitch upcoming. This one in the dirt. Good take here by Rourke, and now it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Top of the third inning here at Hendrickson Field in Enderlin. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, and Johnson gets the strikeout. Tell you what, Cooper Johnson has 4 strikeouts, and a couple of them have been in large situations.
Yeah, I would say most of his strikeouts have been the result of, or have happened in rather large situations here as he looks to pitch out of this jam.
2-0 pitch. Good job by Parker, keeping that one from going to the backstop. Now it'll be 1-0 here to Dylan Rodine. Walked with a run scored back in the second inning after an out by Rourke, able to reach base and work his way all the way home via the pass ball. This one will be swung on a miss, now 1-1. Central Cass will send Verkota, Convervig, and Mitchell top of the lineup as we get to the bottom of the third. The pitch, breaking ball, that'll miss for a ball, now 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Here to the number 8 batter in this Tornado lineup, and the pitch. That'll be up high, miss for a ball at 3-1. Runner at third base again is Brogan Roney. Cooper Johnson on the mound, the 3-1 offering. That'll miss for a ball, and it'll be walk number 7 by Cooper here on the mound. Runners at the corners as Hoisted will come up to the plate with a walk and a stolen base so far as the sun kind of making its way through some of the clouds in the western sky here as it kind of goes off and on like a strobe light a little bit, just a lot slower than a strobe light.
And I have to wonder for right-handed batters if that's playing into their ability to be able to pick up the ball.
Runner's going to go. Here comes the throw to third. Do they get him? And they do. Nice looking play there from Parker. Gives it to Mitchell, who applies the tag, and out is Roney at third base. Awfully perfectly executed there from Parker to Mitchell, and that will be an Arctic Enterprises feature precision potential play of the contest. On our Bank North scoreboard, it's a 4-0 lead for the Tornadoes with the Squirrels coming to the plate.
My name is Jared, born and raised in Minnesota, and I'm a project director at Enbridge. Enbridge is more than a pipeline company. It's a company participating in renewable energy projects in Minnesota and abroad, and I'm really proud to be working here.
We believe a cleaner energy future is achievable. For over 20 years, we've been early adopters of renewable energy, and we're proudly committed to net zero emissions by 2050. To hear more from Jared, visit enbridge.com/Jared. That's Jerrid.
Enderlin Insurance Agency welcomes all the players, coaches, and fans to the Enderlin Baseball Jamboree. At Enderlin Insurance Agency, they're here to help you protect what you've worked hard to earn. Whether it's your home, vehicle, business, or combination of all these, they have you covered. Enderlin Insurance Agency is committed to a high standard of excellence in all that they do and to establish a firm relationship of mutual trust and service with each of their clients. Give Deb, Luba, or Adam a call today at 437-2444.
As we go to the bottom of the third inning here on YourLiveEvent.com, Jake, what did you like about that particular play from Parker? I mean, if you throw it and you throw it in the left field, that's easily a run, if not 2 runs coming in, but absolutely threw a Pete Mitchell there to apply the tag on Roning to get out of the inning here in the top of the third for Central Cass in the field.
Well, it's a heads-up play there by Parker. Obviously, the runner from first running to second base was clearly going to steal second base, and rather than make that attempt or even, fake the throw or throw to like the undercut there between the pitcher and second base, he decides to look at third base, catches the runner off too far, and is able to pick him off there and get them out of that jam and only limit the damage to 1 run that inning.
And for the Oaks Tornadoes, 2 runs in the first, 1 run in the second, 1 run in the third, 2 hits against Cooper Johnson, but it's been the 7 walks that have been the real backbreaker, if you are, for Johnson on the mound. Here comes the pitch, breaking ball on the way to Carter Verkota, who takes a strike. Again, 2 strikes, and then they had the out with the wild pitch. Vossler was able to give it to Wilprecht, covering home to end the second. This one's going to hit in the air, and that's going to split the gap to right center field. Carter Verkota rounds first on his way to second. There is going to be Rodine who gets it back in, and Verkota gets a leadoff double here in the bottom of the third inning for Central Cass.
It's a big response there by Carter Verkota after the pickoff to end the top of the third, to lead off the bottom of the third with a double, no less, to right field, which we say we've never seen a ball hit there today.
Yeah, haven't hit it much, if at all. There's been 1 or 2 times maybe a lazy fly, but not like a shot like that to right center field with Verkota.
Nothing to the fence.
As Wilprecht looks in. This will be to Convervig. That'll miss for a ball. That's the first hit of the day for Central Cass against Fletcher Wilprecht. Left 3 runners on so far, all via the walk. 4 walks, 1 strikeout, 1 hit now for Wilprecht against this Squirrels lineup. 1-0 pitch is hit to right field. That one chasing, and that is going to be a foul ball. Convervig yesterday hit a lot to the right-hand side, as we saw from Central Cass in a game, as he was able to get a couple of base knocks, kind of just letting the ball come through the zone, and he did that against the Kindred Richland Vikings, where Convervig was able to get a couple of hits to the right-hand side. Here's the pitch on the way. That'll be in there for a strike now, 1-2. After Vercoda Convervig, and then it goes to Mitchell here again, top of the lineup. Wilprecht second time through against Central Cass. Here's the 1-2 pitch on the way. This one is hit on the ground, and that's going to be a C&I single on his way to third. That's going to be Vercoda. Convervig climbs aboard with a single here, and Vercoda will hustle back to first base. So runners at the corners, and the Squirrels now 2 batters in are in business here in the bottom of the third inning.
Yeah, a big at bat here for Braden Mitchell. No outs, runners at the corners here, has a chance to cut into the 4-run deficit.
Mitchell with a walk is first time up in the first. He was able to get all the way to third base thanks to a pass ball and then a walk with Carter Maggio as well. So Central Cass for the first time tonight with a leadoff runner aboard, and now also with their second runner of the inning aboard. So runners at the corners, and you and I kind of mentioned off air, how much is enough against Central Cass offensively? As this will be in there for a strike. Convervig stays put at first. And Central Cass right now trying to say, hey, we want to put our own crooked number up on the board and at least bare minimum cut into this 4-run deficit here in the third. The pitch, and this one's going to hit him. He went down into a crouching position and will hit his helmet. So Mitchell will be awarded first base. So it'll be bases loaded now here for Central Cass. At second is Convervig. That was hit by a pitch, and that'll be the 5th free pass here. And Greg Dobich is just going to come out and double check to see if maybe as he went to crouch, did he maybe lean into it? Because you can obviously stay in the batter's box, but if you lean into it by the umpire's discretion, could allow you to stay at home plate.
I don't know anybody who's leaning into a pitch with their head, though. I don't know anyone who's willing to wear a pitch to the head.
And for Greg Dobitz, how he sees it up the third base dugout, different than obviously someone else sees it.
He's arguing on behalf of his team. Obviously, he doesn't want that runner on, the bases loaded here. But
yeah, to your point, Jake.
I have a hard time believing that Mitchell decided to put his head on the ball there.
Maggio represents the game-tying run now for the Squirrels. Bases loaded. 1-0 pitch is going to be fouled up the first base line. Best chance here for Central Cass to score. They left 2 runners on the first. They left a runner on in the second. Again, thrown out at home was Pearson after the wild pitch Vossler to Wilprecht, which is looming large right now because that would have made it 3-1 and maybe added to it for the Squirrels. Instead, it's 4-0 on our Bank North scoreboard. Here's the 1-1 offering. This one almost gets to the backstop, and almost the second time we saw a hit batter. 2 balls, 1 strike here. Maggio with a walk his last time up on 4 pitches. Bases full of Squirrels, and nowhere to put Carter Maggio. Cooper Johnson on deck next. 2-1 pitch from Wilprecht. That's in there for a strike now, 2-2. Vossler behind the plate. Hoisted at third with Roney at short. Trainer at second, and Rarick at first base here for the Oaks Tornadoes. 2 balls, 2 strikes with nobody out here in the third. The pitch. This one is hit high in the air to right field, but that'll be on Highway 46 foul for another 2 upcoming. Well, if you're Central Cass, this is an inning where you really want to cash in. Yeah, you want to run, but you don't just want 1 run. You want 2, 3, and possibly 4 runs. The pitch, fouled back, and Carter Maggio right now starting to time it up a little bit here with Fletcher Wilprecht.
And this is a big spot for both teams. Even though Oaks is up 4-0, this is still bases loaded, no outs. This is a potential inning that could unravel pretty quickly for Oaks, so they don't put this fire out.
Wilprecht likes to sign the 2-2. Swung on and foul tipped into the glove of Vossler for strikeout number 2 here for Wilprecht and out number 1 of the third inning.
Looked like Wilprecht kind of pulled the string there a little bit on a changeup.
able to foul tip, and Vosser did a good job hanging out to it. Christensen's in left with Walnick in center, and Rodin in right. Cooper Johnson a chance to help his own cause now here with bases loaded coming up to the plate. Johnson takes a strike at 0-1. At third base is Verkota. At second is Covervig, and Mitchell stands at first for Central Cass. The 0-1 pitch upcoming here from Fletcher Wilprecht. Breaking ball, outer part of the plate. Vosser trying to frame it up there, now 1-1. One ball, one strike here. The corner infielders will look to cut the runoff at home, while the middle infielders will look for the double play. The 1-1 pitch. This one's going to be hit on the ground, foul. That'll be 1-2. Noah Macau due up next here for Central Cass. So battled with Monjo, now going to battle here with Cooper Johnson. Bases full of squirrels as Fletcher Wilprecht throws the 1-2. Breaking ball, Johnson hits one on the ground, playable for possibly two. Roney goes to Trainer, and this one is going to one-hop the first baseman. Coming around third is going to be Covervig, and 2 runs come in here for the Central Cass Squirrels. So Verkota will come in to score. Covervig will come in via a little bit on the air there after that one hopped the first baseman. Out at second is Mitchell, and Cooper Johnson reaches on a fielder's choice.
Yeah, Cooper Johnson able to break up that double play with his speed there down the first base line, and first baseman unable to dig that, Roderick that is, unable to dig that ball out of the dirt and allowed a second run to score for the Squirrels.
And this will be Noah Macau now will step up to the plate representing a game-tying run. Will miss in the dirt 1-0 in a contest that has now gone over an hour old. 63 minutes here as we're in the bottom of the third inning with 2 outs. We're at first base again is Cooper Johnson. He's going to go here. The throw. Not going to be in time as Johnson gets into scoring position now at second base. 2-0 here to Noah, and how the tables have turned, if you will, a little bit. Central Cass, they'll take the 2 runs, and also Oaks gladly would have taken the out. Obviously like the double play there, Jake, but you know, it's kind of one of those early in the game. If you can minimize the damage just to 2, if you're Coach Greg Dobitz, allow your guys to regroup a little bit and get the bats to come up to the plate here in the 4th. Pitch upcoming for Fletcher Wilprecht. That one in there for strike, good-looking fastball at the knee, now 2-1. Fletcher Wilprecht so far has gone 2 2/3, giving up 2 hits, both in this inning, with 2 runs, 5 walks, and 2 strikeouts. This one is fouled back, and it'll now be 2-2. For the Tornadoes, the 9-1-2 batters, Hoisted, Wilprecht, and Trainer will go up through the 3rd time against Cooper Johnson and the Central Cass Squirrels in the top of the 4th inning. Oaks with Wilprecht will look back the runner at second. And the pitch. Breaking ball just misses the zone now at 3-2. That's a tough pitch for Noah to lay off on that one. As the 3-2 is upcoming and the payoff here for Wilprecht. Swung on and missed, and Fletcher gets the strikeout. His 3rd strikeout of the evening. But 2 runs come across off of 2 hits. There was an error and a runner left on base. 3 complete on our Bank North scoreboard. Oaks leads by 2 here on YourLiveEvent.com.
The Kindred Vikings Booster Club is an organization of parents and community members that supports and encourages the advancement to Kindred athletic programs, focusing on wholesome school spirit, promoting good sportsmanship, and developing high ideals of character. For more information, or if you'd like to be part of the Kindred Vikings Booster Club, send an email to kindredboosterclub@gmail.com. That's kindredboosterclub@gmail.com. Go Vikings! It's a North Dakota All-Star Gathering on your live event, as we'll have coverage of the Shields Softball All-Star Series on June 5th and 6th.
And the 1-2. Hit on the ground. It's going to sneak through the middle for a base hit.
The Optimist Volleyball Series on June 12th and 13th.
This one comes Olivia Vetter, back set, blocked at the net.
Plus the Lions All-Star Basketball Series on July 10th and 11th.
Now it's with Class A. Here's Michael Nile with the windmill duck.
For more information, go to YourLiveEvent.com.
Top of the fourth inning, Chase Miller alongside at Jake Watroba now at a little frigid Hendrickson Field here in Enderlin, North Dakota. If we get to the 9 o'clock hour for our broadcast, we'll have 12 hours of baseball for you here today on YourLiveEvent.com. We had over 12 hours of baseball yesterday, so according to my Fargo Shanley Deacon and MSUM Dragon math, Jake, I'm not a math major, but that's 24 hours of baseball here in Enderlin.
That's a lot of baseball.
Like to have it on a weekend like this, and you know what, that's all right. A lot of baseball is just fine and dandy. We've seen a little bit of the weather kind of forecast all today throughout the day here in Enderlin. Right now, a really gorgeous night, and if you had a good old campfire, had some, s'mores a little bit, that would maybe be the way to get you into, the month of May and get ready for a little Memorial Day weekend a month from now.
Yeah, I'm checking the forecast right now. 44 degrees, a balmy 44 here in Enderlin with a chance of showers here in about a half hour. So,
well, again, we do see out west a little bit of some clouds making their way in. Let's, we're top of the fourth now. Let's hopefully we can get through the 7 here with unscathed from Mother Nature. Johnson on for his fourth inning of work. Throws the ball here to Hoisted, who walked his last time up. Was able to reach third with a stolen base as well. 9, 1, and 2 batters here for the Tornadoes. This one will miss for a ball, now 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes. Here with Cooper Johnson, the pitch. This one fouled, 2-1. Oaks able to win by 1 in their contest with Fargo Oak Grove. Xavier Vossler with the walk-off variety hit, and then able to fall by 1 to Northern Cass after a 3-run home run by Hatfield that brought up Ashley as a tying run. That'll miss now, 3-1. So Oak Grove played in 2 one-run games. One lost both of them. Well, for the Oaks Tornadoes, a 5-4 win yesterday over the Grovers, then a 16-6 win here against Enderlin. And now trying to knock off the Central Cass Squirrels for a Region 1 win here to close out the weekend. So Rodine's going to walk on this one. Hoisted's going to walk on this one. Walk number 8 for Johnson. He'll stay put at first. This one hops the catcher and Porker. And Fletcher Wilprecht comes to the plate. Fletcher with 2 walks, a run scored so far today for the Tornadoes for the senior pitcher. Johnson looks back the runner at first, who bluffs to go. This one's going to be hit on the ground, and that's going to be a single to left. Going to second base will be Hoisted. Wilprecht will take first. Will be the 3rd hit of the contest against Cooper Johnson. And now Johnson, just as he found himself in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd runners here with Tornadoes, and this might do it here for Cooper Johnson, and we might have a pitching change coming up here in Enderlin. Dustin Maggio comes out, going to take the ball here from Cooper Johnson. We'll break as well and let you know who the new pitcher is going to be coming up here on YourLiveEvent.com.
This is Chris from RDK Enterprises, your local precision planting dealer. Say thank you to the farmers you come into contact with every day. They have chosen a career that is as much their deep passion as it is an absolute necessity for you and I. Spring is upon us, and there will be farm equipment on the roads. Give them your patience and room to do their jobs. Trust me, they would rather be off the road working in their field than dealing with traffic. From all of us here at RDK Enterprises, we say thank you and have a safe spring.
Hunter Insurance Agency is a locally owned full-service agency that provides protection and coverage in a number of different areas. Hunter Insurance Agency offers multi-peril crop insurance, crop hail insurance, and farm insurance for buildings and equipment. Plus, they offer home, auto, life, and business insurance. For more information, go online to hunterinsuranceagency.com or stop in and speak with Johnny Jorgensen at Hunter Insurance Agency at 109 Main Street in Hunter.
This is Bailey Scott, a senior at Fargo Davies High School and the 2022-23 North Dakota High School Activities Association Distinguished Student. Educational athletics, including games like this one, teach a lifetime values such as respect for your opponents, coaches, officials, and classmates. There are few better places than athletic competition to demonstrate respect for others. By your demonstration of respect for those participating and watching today, you underscore that the most important part of high school competition is the people involved and not the game itself. A public service message from the North Dakota High School Activities Association and this radio station.
So at the top of the fourth inning, the night is done here for Cooper Johnson, but he is the pitcher of record right now via the loss if Central Cass is unable to come back. And also he's on the hook for the runners at first and second. Hoisted at second. At first is Wilprecht. Johnson goes 3 innings, 3 hits, 4 runs against him so far, 8 walks with 4 strikeouts. There's some defensive changes. So Johnson will go to left. Broughton will go to right. Bussey will go to second, and Covervig will go to the pitcher's mound. So those are your defensive changes here for the Central Cass Squirrels. Coming up to the plate, James Traynor is 0 for 1 today with a walk, a stolen base, and a run scored for the Tornadoes. Covervig pitch in there for a strike on the outer part of the plate, now 0 and 1. Bluffing a bunt there was James Traynor as Greg Dobitz calls out a couple of numbers. You take a look at your card and then figure out what the play is going to be on here for the Tornadoes. The pitch. This one's going to be a bunt. This will be down. Covervig looking to get the main runner out, and they do. Good job by the dugout, and you could hear everybody saying 3-3-3 right away. Covervig able to field it nicely, spin, and fire to Mitchell, and that'll be on the play, 3-5, and the lead runner in Hoisted is out at third.
Yeah, that's a big out there to get the lead runner there. Heads up play by Covervig, like you said. The dugout's yelling 3-3-3, and he had the wherewithal to listen to them and turn around and fire that thing over there and get him out.
So 1 down now here in the top of the fourth inning as Xavier Vossler 0 for 2 today with a pair of strikeouts will step up with a runner at first and second. Playing in front of the bag at first is Macau here. The pitch. This one will get all the way to the backstop, and now the Tornadoes will have runners in scoring position. Wild pitch on the way will allow Fletcher Wilprecht to jog down to third base, and Traynor will go to second. 1-0 here now to Xavier Vossler. Something we've seen a little bit, and again, when you're talking about 40-degree temperatures, at times you've been even managing a little bit of Mother Nature and the precipitation with it as well, trying to get your hand on the baseball and give it a good grip. Runners in scoring position as the Squirrels bring their infield in, the 1-0. This one will run up in the zone, now 2-0 to the number 3 batter. With Gavin Christensen, who all that he's done today for the Oaks Tornadoes seems to come up with runners in scoring position for the number 4 batter, which is what you want for your cleanup. The pitch will miss low, now 3-0 on this one. Going to stay put, trying to find the baseball. And Covervig now sees it as it goes all the way and just unable for Parker to find the baseball as it didn't go too far away from the batter's box here, but coming in to score on the pass ball will be Fletcher Wilprecht.
Heads up play by Wilprecht to be able to even locate that ball and have the wherewithal to come home while the Squirrels trying to figure out where that was up against the backstop.
Top of the fourth inning now 5-2. This one will be in the dirt. Covervig will have a walk. Again, coming in to score is going to be Wilprecht, so that'll retire the book on Cooper Johnson. He will end up giving 5 runs total as Covervig here will give up his first walk of the game. That's his 9th of the contest as we have a courtesy runner coming on here for the Oaks Tornadoes. And this will be Wood to be at first base here now as Gavin Christensen steps up with runners at the corners and 1 out. Christensen with an RBI back in the first inning, led off the third with a double to left field and came in to score. Add in what he did earlier today for the Tornadoes. Have been a productive day here at Hendrickson Field. The runner in Wood will go to second, and he will take it, and the Tornadoes now with runners in scoring position. Gavin Christensen with 3 runs, 2 hits, and 2 runs driven in against the Enderlin Eagles earlier today, and now comes up in a situation to add to it. He will take low for a ball, and that'll be 2-0. After Christensen, Brogan Roney is due up next. The Oaks Tornadoes have scored in every inning so far, 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third, and now 1 here in the fourth. This one is hit on the ground, and that's going to ricochet off the third baseman, Mitchell, and it's going to get into short center field. 1 run's coming in. They're bringing in Wood. They're not going to throw it, and it's a 2 RBI single here for Gavin Christensen. feed the beast in Gavin Christensen with his third run driven in.
2 runs come in.
Yeah, what did he say after we got done speaking with him a few days ago?
I might want to come up here and talk to you guys again. Hey, that's
He's making a good case.
That's a good mentality, because if he's coming up here to talk to us, it probably means Oaks is going to win the ball game. So 7-2 here with Christensen with the 2 RBI single. Just unfortunate for Central Cass, as that was a screamer to Mitchell. It ricocheted off of him and then went into center field there, and trying to have Maggio collected, and good heady base running there by Wood coming in. Trainer also comes in. And here comes the pitch with Covervig here to Roney. That'll miss for a ball. Now 1 ball and 1 strike. So the Squirrels left 2 runners on in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third, but they did play 2. Right now, Sam Coverig looking to find the zone. This one going to be hit on the ground. A chance for 2. That'll be off the heel of Mitchell. Goes across and not going to be in time. So Christensen gets to second. Roney will climb aboard, and it's going to be a tough one as you have Maggio there to try to glove that one at shortstop, and he's definitely trying to see if he could flip it quick to Bussey, but once he dropped it, try to come across the diamond, and now it'll be runners at first and second here for the Oaks Tornadoes. The 7th batter of the inning, and Max Wallach will come to the plate 0 for 2 today, and if you're Central Cass, it's just going to felt like, you know, that 50-50 type of play has not gone your way, where if it's going your way, that's probably, if not one, maybe a double play there for Central Cass, but instead now runners at first and second, and still only 1 down in the top of the 4th inning. 1-0 pitch on the way from Covervig. Swung on and missed, now 1-1. For Central Cass in the bottom of the 4th inning, it'll be Parker, Bussey, and Broughton. 7, 8, and 9 due up for the Central Cass Squirrels. Here comes the 1-1. That'll miss for a ball. Now 2-1. So runners here for the Oaks Tornadoes will look to be off and running again and try to add on to their 5-run lead here in the 4th inning. The pitch. That's going to be a strike. We'll get by the catcher Parker here on the pass ball, and the runners will go up 90 feet. So it'll be 2 balls, 2 strikes. Christensen goes to third. Roney will go to second. And now Wallach will just need to have a sacrifice fly potentially in the outfield to be productive here as the infield comes in on the 2-2. Covervig looks in, and the pitch. Fastball out of the zone. Now 3-2. Covervig with the payoff pitch. Swung on and missed, and Covervig gets the strikeout. Out number 2 here for Covervig as he's given up a single and a walk so far, and now a strikeout here for Sam. As Rourke will come up as the 8th batter here for the Tornadoes.
This game is still within reach for Central Cass here, so this is a big at bat for Covervig here to limit the damage here, to keep it at a 5-run deficit.
3 runs across so far in the inning, and possibly 4, if not 5, out on the base pass right now as that one is low. Rourke, that'll be a ball. Now 0-2 with a strikeout his last time up swinging. Here's the 1-0 pitch. This one will come in, and that hat hit him. Nope, it went to the backstop. Run coming in, and that'll be a run, as this will allow the runners to move up 90 feet on the wild pitch. Coming in the score is going to be Christensen. Roney will take third base here. And now it's 8-2 on our Bank North scoreboard. So the wild pitch will allow Christensen to come in and score. The pitch from Covervig is going to be in there for a strike. Now 1-1. Roney right now with 2 outs with a runner now at third base. The Tornadoes with 4 runs here in the top of the 4th inning. The 1-1 offering, that'll miss down low. 2-1 here to Deegan with Rodine due up next. As you have the 2 balls, 1 strike pitch upcoming here for Covervig. I'll be swung on and missed. Now 2-2. On top of the lineup has done the damage here for Oaks. Wilprecht with a single and a scored run. Trainer able to reach base on a fielder's choice and a pass ball wild pitch, allowed him to go all the way around the bases to score. Vossler with a walk, then was pinch run for with Wold. With Wood that was to come in and score, and then Christensen came in and scored as well. Covervig gets his 2nd strikeout, but not before 4 runs come across here in the top of the 4th inning for the Oaks Tornadoes. New score to Bank North scoreboard. Oaks leads by 6 on your liveevent.com.
One size does not fit all. As a small business employer, you have many great benefit options. Hello, Angela here with the Irie Insurance Benefits Connect team. We know shopping for employee insurance benefits can be a confusing and intimidating task for employers. Not to mention one more thing on your plate. Let Irie Insurance Benefits Connect guide you through the process. We take a unique approach to providing benefits through education, communication, and a personal touch. To find out more, go to IrieInsurance.com.
Honesty, loyalty, integrity. At Bank North, we've remained true to these values for generations. They shape the way we do business, work with customers, and support our communities. We've been here for more than a century, helping people grow farms and businesses, finance homes, and pursue their dreams. It's values-based banking, and it's all about working together to strengthen the common threads that bind us together. Bank North, always true.
On our Bank North scoreboard in the bottom of the 4th inning, it's the Central Cass Squirrels trailing by 6 here against the Oaks Tornadoes. And to find a branch near you for Bank North, you don't need to go far between Oaks and Castleton. You can find out a branch throughout the week and starting off on Monday. Or if you got more information, go to ibanknorth.com. If you have any questions, it's values-based banking. Take Bank North along and handle your banking's requests. Member FDIC and proud supporter of their communities. And take their mobile app with you wherever you go. Again, go to ibanknorth.com. So Parker, Bussey, and Broughton here, 7, 8, and 9 batters against Fletcher Wilprecht on the mound. And Fletcher Wilprecht will throw a ball here to Jackson Parker. So it was a 4-run deficit cut to 2. Now it's a 6-run deficit. And what can the Squirrels do here in the bottom of the 4th to try to answer? That one's thrown in there for a strike, now 1-1. Parker with a walk his last time up in the 2nd. This one will miss for a ball at 2-1. Seen some good defensive plays today, some base running here in this contest, and just a lot of walks that we probably would talk to both coaches that they're not too pleased with that one. And some of this where we've seen a lot of pass balls throughout this, what kind of feels like the last game of a 12-game Jamboree here in Enderlin. Kind of has that feeling a little bit here, Jake.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And you have to imagine, too, especially if you're a team like Central Cass who's, been on this field since, I don't know, 4:30, 5 o'clock.
Yep.
They're probably cold. Probably that ball doesn't really feel that great in your hand. That might explain for the large amount of walks they've issued thus far.
This one will be a walk here as Parker will hustle up the first base line, and he will stay put at first base. So Wilprecht here will have his 6th walk, and Mason Bussey will come up to the plate. And then we'll have a courtesy runner on for the Central Cass Squirrels, as this will be Pearson coming on again for Parker. So Pearson will be at first. Good way to start a little bit of a rally for Central Cass. Back-to-back innings with their leadoff man to get to first base here, or a double that we saw from Burkota. The pitch, this will miss for a ball, now 1-0. Central Cass will try to pull what we've seen from Oaks in this contest, which is just be patient, get guys on base, and then see if you can get the right hit at the right time, as this will be foul back, now 1-1. Logan Broughton due up next. Bottom of the 4th inning here on yourliveevent.com, and has become a little bit more of a slower-paced baseball Region 1 game here between Central Cass and the Oaks Tornadoes. 1-1, Fletcher Wilprecht. That'll be in there for a strike on the curveball, now 1-2. As we're a quarter away from the 9 o'clock hour. Wilprick bluffs the throw back to first. Very picturesque, though, here for the settings as the lights have came on here in Enderlin at Hendrickson Field. And they've been on for a while, but now starting to shine a little bit more as we get into the evening hour. That's going to be wild pitch. 2-2 on the way to Mason Bussey, and Pearson will scamper to second base. So a lot of baseball yet to be played, but also in comparison, if Central Cass doesn't score here this inning, we've seen Oaks put some crooked numbers up, and all of a sudden, if they could put 4 up and hold Central Cass to a goose egg here, Jake, then you start talking about the mercy rule a little bit, which comes into play. Wilprick looks back the runner. This one going to allow the runner and Pearson to go now to third base on the wild pitch, and now it's 3-2 to Mason Bussey. 3 balls, 2 strikes to the senior right fielder here in the bottom of the 4th inning in Mason Bussey with Broughton. Again, due up next, and it goes to the top of the lineup with Vercoda the third time through here for Central Cass. 3-2 swung on and miss, and Fletcher Wilprick gets his 4th strikeout of the evening, out number 1 here in the bottom of the 4th. So Broughton today, a walk with a stolen base back in the 2nd inning. And it's Fletcher Wilprick here. Looks the runner back at third, and this one will miss out of the zone at 1-0. Central Cass with a win over Kindred Richland yesterday, 11-1 in 5 innings. Mitchell hit a homer. Macau hit a homer. Parker hit a homer. Bussey not going through the zone now, 2-0. Squirrels then lost. Keegan Neva with a complete game against Central Cass, 5-2 in game number 4 of 6 yesterday. The Squirrels picked up a win early over the Ball Stars in 5 innings, 17-0. The pitch out of the zone now, 3-0 to the number 9 batter here in the Central Cass lineup. For the Oaks Tornadoes, a 1-run win over Oak Grove, and then topped Enderlin in 5, 16-6. Looking to go 3-0 this weekend here in Enderlin. More of a time here by Logan Broughton as the Canadian Pacific gets making its way through. As we'll see coming across the way through the parking lot.
The 8:47 is right on time.
The train whistle you can hear and take a little bit of a time. We did see yesterday, again, a home run that ricocheted off the rail cart. That went off the train here in Enderlin. Here's the 3-0. That'll be in there for a strike. Broughton taking all the way at 3-1 now.
Well, now would be a perfect opportunity for Central Cass to hit one off of one of the cars here.
That'll be a big home run, trailing it, and that's going to be strike 2. So that'll be strike 2, or home plate umpire was ready to ring Broughton up. So it'll be now 3-2 upcoming. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Broughton took about a step to first base thinking it was ball number 4. Instead, it's strike number 2. Runner at third base again is Pearson. Fletcher Wilprick right now looks back the runner. And the pitch. Strike 3 on the breaking ball, and that'll be the 5th strikeout here for Wilprick. A little check swing there with Broughton back-to-back breaking balls, and that'll be out number 2. So the Squirrels trying to bring Pearson coming in here as Carter Vercoda will come up to the plate. Vercoda shot one into right center field his last time up in the 3rd inning to lead off the top of the 3rd inning. Eventually he came in to score. Vercoda takes a ball, 1-0. Vercoda was our Enbridge Energy player of the game last contest against the Ball Stars. Went 5 innings, 10 strikeouts, 1 walk. Also had a good day at the plate as well with a couple runs scored. This one's going to be hit to the second baseman. There's going to be Trainer, goes to Rorick. That's 4-3 on the putout to retire the Squirrels here in the 4th inning. A leadoff walk goes awry. No runs, no hits, there were no errors, and 1 runner left on base. 4 complete on our Bank North scoreboard. It's 8-2 Tornadoes here on your liveevent.com.
Enderlin Area Schools is committed to providing students with optimal learning opportunities so they can reach their full potential. Enderlin Area Schools creates learners who believe in the power of their education to help them learn, excel, influence their world, and direct their future. Enderlin Area Schools take pride in their school and community. For up-to-date information, go online to enderlin.k12.nd.us. Good luck to the Eagles participating in all activities throughout the year. At Cass County Mutual Insurance Company, they provide services to homeowners, farm owners, tenants, seasonal dwellings, mobile homes, and farm and personal liability. Cass County Mutual Insurance provides local service to all policyholders and is working with clients in 19 counties in the southeast portion of North Dakota. For more information about Cass County Mutual Insurance Company or to find an agent closest to you, go online to CassCountyMutualInsuranceCompany.com and use their agent locator.
8-2, the Oaks Tornadoes over the Central Cass Squirrels here in the top of the fifth inning. Chase Miller, Jake Watroba with you here on YourLiveEvent.com. Now that we get to the fifth, goes back to what we were mentioning early in the fourth inning, Jake. You know, Oaks has played it a run in every inning. If they can do what they did in the fourth, which is score 4 runs or more, then hold Central Cass scoreless in the bottom half, then you start talking about the mercy rule. Not to say it's going to happen, but now if you're a Central Cass fan and Oaks fan, that starts becoming part of your vocabulary, particularly if Oaks gets a couple of runners on here in the top of the fifth.
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility. And who thought at the beginning of this ball game, before the first pitch, that this game had any kind of possibility of it maybe potentially going to a mercy rule scenario. But here we are here.
So far today, 3 of the 5 games, make that 4 of the 5 games have gone either 5 or 6. 3 of them went 5, 1 went 6, 1 went the complete game with Kinder Richland and Northern Cass 5-2. And yesterday we had 2 that went 5 innings. 2-0 pitch on the way here in there for a strike. Dylan Rodin so far today, he's been on base twice, has 2 walks and a run scored. This one in there for a strike now, 2-2. Convervig on for his second inning of work here for Central Cass. 8, 9, and 1 batters for the Tornadoes. This will miss for a ball at 3-2. Convervig, 3 balls, 2 strikes, and the pitch. This one will miss for a ball, and Convervig will have his second walk in relief. As Dylan Rodin will climb to first base here, and now it's going to be Michael Hoysted. Bottom of the lineup for the 8-9 batters have done this so far today, Jake. They've been to the plate 5 times, and they've drawn 5 walks.
That's a pretty good clip.
That's what you call table setters at particular times to flip the lineup over here for the Oaks Tornadoes.
This explains why Gavin Christensen has performed so well.
Without question. Looking to bunt here, trying to come through is going to be Hoysted. They'll say that he did go through the zone. It is a strike now, 0-1. The Oaks Tornadoes, everybody has found a way to get on base except the 7 and 8 batters, but outside of that, it's either been a walk, a single, find a way to score a run. 0-1 pitch here from Convervig. As he looks back, the runner, there's the pick throw. Not going to be in time. You know, Gavin Christensen, it just seems like anytime there's been runners on in a clutch situation for Oaks today, Christensen has been the guy at the plate, and he's delivered. This will be in there for a strike now, 1-1 to Hoysted. And goes back to Fletcher Wilprecht here. Wilprecht, that pitch count starting to climb a little bit here as well with 6 strikeouts and 5. Make that 5 strikeouts and 6 walks against the Squirrels batters. This one foul back now, 1-2 to Michael Hoysted. Something about playing 4 games in 2 days. You have to definitely start taking a look at pitch counts a little bit more. Gets you ready for what you're going to see in a little bit of a Region 1 tournament later on in a couple weeks. Convervig with a strikeout. The quick whip throw back to first. Getting back safely is going to be Bodine, and Convervig will pick up his 3rd strikeout. Convervig heading to VCSU in the fall to play for head coach Riot Montgomery at the collegiate level, the state Mr. Basketball MVP at the state Class B tournament. Fletcher Wilprecht here, the senior pitcher. So far today has reached base all 3 times, 2 runs scored. This one will miss for a ball, now 1-0. Wilprecht with a walk and a run scored in the first, and a single and a run scored in the fourth. Taking his lead off of first is Rodin. This one going to be hit on the ground. They get the tag, the double play opportunity. Nice play on the way by Bussey. He gets the tag of Rodin, able to spin and throw it to Macau. 4-3 on the DP. 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning off of just 1 pitch, and that'll retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. Nice looking play by Bussey as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning.
At Castleton Lumber, they want to be part of every stage of your building project from the ground up. Let them assist with planning your project timeline in a way that's affordable and efficient. Castleton Lumber has everything you need to get the look you love with windows, siding, roofing, and doors. From choosing the right materials to the finishing touches, you can count on the folks at Castleton Lumber. Stop in and talk with the crew today or call 347-4471. That's 347-4471.
My name is Jared, born and raised in Minnesota, and I'm a project director at Enbridge. Enbridge is more than a pipeline company. It's a company participating in renewable energy projects in Minnesota and abroad, and I'm really proud to be working here.
We believe a cleaner energy future is achievable. For over 20 years, we've been early adopters of renewable energy, and we're proudly committed to net zero emissions by 2050. To hear more from Jared, visit enbridge.com/Jared. That's Jerrid.
Bottom of the 5th inning we go. It's Kavervig, Mitchell, and Maggio, 2, 3, and 4 batters. So far for Oaks and Central Cass combined, 10 walks by Central Cass pitchers, 6 walks so far by Fletcher Wilprecht. Wilprecht with 5 strikeouts, and then on the opposite side, Central Cass with 7 combined strikeouts. Jake, whether it's a strikeout or walks, that's a lot of pitches that we're seeing because it's not been so many hit batters. It's been working a count a little bit, waiting for your pitch, and that's why we're kind of nearing the 9 o'clock hour in a game that's an hour and 45 minutes old here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Yeah, when you bring up that walk, the walk numbers there, it's almost reminiscent of like a basketball game in a way when you're talking about this team's been to the free throw line this many times, and look how many less free throws this other team has shot, and you start to think about all the fouls that have been committed too, and that kind of piles up, and like walks, now all these additional pitches your pitchers have to throw, and you have fielders just kind of standing out there. It's cold, they're probably getting stiff, and yeah, it's like we've said a couple times on this broadcast, walks will haunt, and that's kind of been the story for Central Cass as they've issued that many walks, and that's the reason why Oaks has 8 runs scored here through 4.5.
Kavervig's going to take a strike. This one going to be hit on the ground, foul up the third base line, now 0-2. Kavervig today with a single back in the 3rd inning. With a run scored is 1 for 2 at the number 2 spot here for Central Cass. The pitch is going to be hit on the ground. That'll be the third baseman, Hoisted, able to glove it, flip it across the way, and picking it, yes! Rorick able to pick it and keep his foot on the bag. Nicely done by Rorick there with a little bit of the web gem. 3 pitches and an out, 5-3 on the putout here as Braden Mitchell will step up to the plate.
Yeah, nice little pick there by Rorick, flashing the leather there at first base and getting the quick out for Oaks.
Definitely very nice. The pitch, this one will miss for a ball, now at 1-0. Braden Mitchell hit by a pitch. His last time up in the 3rd, walked in the 1st, able to reach 3rd. This one will miss for a ball, now 2-0. Mitchell, Monjo, and then Johnson here for the Central Cass Squirrels. So now we're starting to, time is not on their side. This one will miss up, 3-0.
Well, looking for them, Chase. Baseball isn't a timed game.
And
there's no clock.
Very, very, very true. Even though now in baseball, can you say in Major League is there technically a clock?
Well, there's a clock now in
bit,
Major
right?
League Baseball.
The 3-0 pitch, that'll be in there for a strike now, 3-1.
We care about the integrity of the game here at this level of baseball.
Well, I'll say outs are not on their side right now, or the Bank North scoreboard is not on their side. The 3-1. This one will be foul back now, 3-2. Good looking rip there by Mitchell. If he would have been able to make square on contact, that one maybe could have been on a ride to the Canadian Pacific Railway.
Or orbit.
3 balls, 2 strikes here. The payoff pitch. Swung on and missed. Foul tipped into the glove, and Vossler hangs on for the strikeout. Punch out number 6 here for Wilprecht. As we have 2 up and 2 down here in the 5th inning. Fletcher Wilprecht, the least amount of batters that he's faced is 4 in an inning. Coming up to the plate will be Carter Maggio for the Squirrels. 0 for 1 today with a walk back in the 1st inning. In the pitch. This one will go to the backstop, now 1-0. Central Cass beat Oaks earlier coming up this season, but the Squirrels and the Oaks Tornadoes played in a football game earlier this year in the fall. That was a rain-induced kind of football game, as this one has popped up as the pitcher calls everybody off with Wilprecht, and that'll retire the side. Quick work, 3 up, 3 down here as we go to the top of the 6th inning on our Bank North scoreboard. We'll talk about that football game when we come back here on YourLiveEvent.com.
Enderlin Insurance Agency welcomes all the players, coaches, and fans to the Enderlin Baseball Jamboree. At Enderlin Insurance Agency, they're here to help you protect what you've worked hard to earn. Whether it's your home, vehicle, business, or a combination of all these, they have you covered. Enderlin Insurance Agency is committed to a high standard of excellence in all that they do and to establish a firm relationship of mutual trust and service with each of their clients. Give Deb, Luba, or Adam a call today at 437-2444. The Kindred Vikings Booster Club is an organization of parents and community members that supports and encourages the advancement to Kindred athletic programs, focusing on wholesome school spirit, promoting good sportsmanship, and developing high ideals of character. For more information, or if you'd like to be part of the Kindred Vikings Booster Club, send an email to kindredboosterclub@gmail.com. That's kindredboosterclub@gmail.com. Go Vikings!
Top of the 6th inning, 8-2 right now for the Oaks Tornadoes in front of the Central Cass Squirrels on our Bank North scoreboard. Going back to that football game on August the 26th in Oaks, 22-14, Oaks beat Central Cass, which forced Central Cass to go on the road to Bono to start. Then they had to go to Kindred Rich, and then they had to go to Beulah before they lost to Velva, Drake, and Moose in the championship game. Here's this one in the dirt for a ball on the way to James Trainer, now 1-0. But in that contest, talking with Coach Butler for Central Cass and Greg Dobitz for the Oaks Tornadoes later on the season, 22-14 in the win. A rain-induced game, about 9 turnovers combined. And talking with the coaches, they both said, yeah, about 5 or 6 of them would have happened, whether it was 90-degree weather, whether it was snow or not. This one in there for a strike at 2-1. So these two teams have played some pretty meaningful games so far. Able for a 6-3 win earlier this year for Central Cass over the Tornadoes. Here's the 2-1. That'll be missing low for a ball, now 3-1. And sometimes you just get that. It might be one particular team that is the thorn in your side a little bit. And right now, Oaks trying to be the thorn in the Squirrels' side. The pitch, that'll be a 5-pitch walk. A third brief pass by Kovervig here. And now it'll allow Xavier Vossler to step up to the plate.
Now batting number 10, Xavier Vossler.
So Vossler will step up to the plate here. So far today, 0 for 2 with a walk. And then Wood came on for the courtesy runner and came on to score, as right now the umpires might have to come on and ask those who are up the third base line and maybe shut their lights off here, as that's what we'll have. We get to see that in high school football at particular times. It's the first time we've seen that here in Enderlin, so add that to your baseball bingo Enderlin Jamboree card, as we've seen a little bit of everything here this weekend. Runner at first base again is going to be Trainer Vossler at the plate with Kovervig looking back the runner. This one going to be hit, and that's going to be right off the third baseman's glove in Mitchell, and that is going to allow the runners to be at first and second. Mitchell came up, it hopped, and it hopped a little bit more. He was thinking it was going to be underneath, maybe closer to the knee, but came more up to the midsection, and now runners at first and second base as we'll have a courtesy runner coming on here for the Tornadoes.
Yeah, Chase, I have to wonder about this infield, just with the grass and everything. We talked about earlier in one of our previous broadcasts here today that I had to think with the slow thaw of the ground here from this past winter, I had to think that this playing surface maybe might not be up to snuff or par or whatever word you want to use.
Yeah,
maybe the ground hasn't really settled just yet.
It's firm is the nice way to say it, right?
That's a good way to put it. It's
yeah.
very firm right now. And we've seen a bunch of weird hops in the infield here. We've seen a ton of pass balls getting past outfielders in the outfield, which makes me, kind of gives credence to what you're saying there in terms of maybe the ground is a little more firm than it normally would be, maybe, say, a month from now.
And that's the one thing here. It's just you're playing with what the weather conditions are, and that's for many ballparks really across the Red River Valley, right? If you would go out right now, you're not going to have just a green, lush, lawn no matter where you're particularly at. This is more a sandy soil in Enderlin compared to the clay that we would have in, the Fargo, Red River Valley area. So everything's a little bit different, but able to get games as we talked about, Jake, that's a number one. Able to allow guys to come out here and play through this weather. Yeah, it's maybe not the most conducive, but you'll gladly be rather playing than sitting indoors in a blizzard yet again here in April.
Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of these guys too probably would prefer to play on grass and dirt versus a turf field as well. Now I know the conditions are probably more pristine. You know what you're going to get with a turf field, but there's something about just playing on the infield dirt and infield grass that is second to none.
3 balls, 1 strike now to Gavin Christensen. And, well, again, runners on for Gavin Christensen at the plate here. A single, a double with 2 runs scored, a run driven in back in the first. This one is hit high in the air up the third base line, and look out for the light tower. And that'll miss, it looks like, all the cars up the foul line. So 3-2. Christensen also in this contest with that RBI, as we mentioned, to make it 1-0, then came in to score via the air to make it 4-0. Chance to tack on it here in the top of the 6th inning. Covervig, 3 balls, 2 strikes, looking for a strikeout here or a ground ball for a potential double play. There's the strikeout, foul tipped in the glove with Parker, and Covervig gets his 4th strikeout. Brogan, Roney due up next, and that's one thing, the field, the conditions, infield and outfield conditions, everyone's got to play a part of it. And you just hope that the weather moving forward, if you're able to get to the 60s and 70s, allow some things to settle a little bit, allow the grass to green up a little bit as this one has hit up the first base, make that the third base line foul, now 0-1.
Allow the grass to green a little bit, maybe thicken a little bit too.
Mm-hmm. And if you get that to happen, take a picture now compared to what 3 weeks from now potentially might look like here at Hendrickson Field for the Region 1 baseball tournament. Pickoff throw. Covervig will give it to Bussey, and Bussey trying to apply the tag, coming back safely. He's going to be trainer, but no, great opportunity here at Hendrickson Field for just to get a little bit of rhythm, and that's the one other thing. You can practice indoors and hit off a hitting machine or hit off a tee so much, but there's nothing like live pitching and trying to find a little bit of rhythm at the plate. Yeah, you want to win every game you can, but right now it's about kind of getting some of the rust off, if you will, from the month of April. Strike 3 looking, and Covervig now with back-to-back punch-outs here in the 6th. 5 strikeouts, 3 walks. He has given up a hit in relief, but Covervig's been pretty effective here, all things considered.
Yeah, he's really settled things down for the Squirrels since coming on in relief. I don't believe that a run has been credited to him that he's given up to the Tornadoes.
And Cooper Johnson, 3 hits, 5 runs across, and then a couple of them, again, he was on the hook for starting the 4th inning. That one's going to be in there for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike here to Max Wallach. Wallach with runners at first and second, able to get aboard with trainer on the walk, and then Vossler on the air. Runners again at first and second. The pitch, this one in there for a strike, and Covervig is starting to find that rhythm here for the Central Cass Squirrels. Johnson, McCow, and Parker, 5, 6, and 7 batters due up in the bottom of the 6th for Central Cass. Covervig, the pitch. This will be a striking out the side for Covervig. That's his 6th strikeout here, as we have no runs, no hits. There was an error and 2 runners left on base. 5.5 complete on our Bank North scoreboard. It's 8-2 Tornadoes on your live event.
It's a North Dakota All-Star Gathering on your live event, as we'll have coverage of the Shields Softball All-Star Series on June 5th and 6th.
And the 1-2. Hit on the ground, going to sneak through the middle for a base hit.
The Optimist Volleyball Series on June 12th and 13th.
This one comes Olivia Vetter, back set, blocked at the net.
Plus the Lions All-Star Basketball Series on July 10th and 11th.
Now it's with Class A. Here's Michael Nile with the windmill duck.
For more information, go to yourliveevent.com.
This is Chris from RDK Enterprises, your local precision planting dealer. Say thank you to the farmers you come into contact with every day. They have chosen a career that is as much their deep passion as it is an absolute necessity for you and I. Spring is upon us and there will be farm equipment on the roads. Give them your patience and room to do their jobs. Trust me, they would rather be off the road working in their field than dealing with traffic. From all of us here at RDK Enterprises, we say thank you and have a safe spring.
Fletcher Wilprecht on the mound here in the bottom of the 6th inning for the Oaks Tornadoes, coming off his first 1, 2, 3 in the 5th, where Covervig, Mitchell, and Maggio were retired via ground out, strikeout, and a pop out here. And Central Cass just with 6 outs to work with in front of them here in this contest against Oaks in this Region 1 baseball contest. Covervig has gone 3 innings in relief, giving up a couple of hits. So far, 1 hit for Covervig, 6 strikeouts, 3 walks. Fletcher Wilprecht has gone the distance so far. 5 hits, 5 innings, 2 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, with 6 walks and 6 strikeouts. As Cooper Johnson going to take a ball. Now it's going to be 1-0. Johnson has reached base once with a strikeout. Now this will be swung on and miss at 1-1. Stay tuned to our post-game show, our Enbridge Energy Player of the Game. We'll also take a look at the final line score in this one between Central Cass and Oaks and let you know what's ahead for both of these two teams coming up next week as we get ready for a little May Day. You're going to have a May Day basket here, Jake, coming up on May the 1st. Did you ever do a May Day basket?
I don't even know what that is. Why don't you explain this to me? I'm curious to learn.
May Day basket in elementary school was a little kid where you brought a basket and you got like almost Easter, a bunch of toys or treats or goodies or something. May Day basket. I'm going to have you Google search it.
I've never heard of this.
3 balls, 1 strike. That's going to be a 4-pitch walk. And Cooper Johnson able to climb aboard here. All right, we're going to get out the smartphone.
So you're telling me it's like a second Easter?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell you.
Without an Easter bunny?
Well, yeah. Have you never heard of a May Day basket?
I feel like I've been robbed.
See, May Day basket ideas. Look at that. Candy, flour, seed packets, books for your loved ones. May Day. You have a fiancé.
Now, when I hear May Day, I think emergency. Like,
you have a fiancé, for crying out loud. Aren't you going to give her a May Day basket?
I give her Valentine's Day flowers. I don't give her a May Day basket of flowers.
No, McCall will be 1 ball and 1 strike. I won't tell your soon-to-be bride-to-be. Ask her about a May Day basket and put any more expenses against you.
If she cared about...
This one is going to be hit into center field, and that's going to get by the center fielder, Wallach, all the way, and here comes the heavens opening up. Rounding third on his way is Cooper Johnson, and he comes in to score. So it's going to be a single here for Macau. Johnson going to go first to home after the air there by Wallach in the center field, and the Central Cass Squirrels now are back within 5.
What a big knock right there for the Central Cass Squirrels. Able to get that ball out to center field, out to the snowpack there, and I don't know if the rain maybe helped with maybe some of that relay there, or with the exchange of the mitt to the ball from the mitt. But yeah, you're right. The heavens did open up, and now it looks like the rain is kind of slow.
Yeah, the rain is definitely coming down here as we have a dark blackened sky, and mentioned it, and it might have a chance of raining a little bit later on. And, well, here we go yet again, as this will be 1 ball, 1 strike here to Jackson Parker. Johnson reached base with a walk, able to score after the Macau, a single, and then it got by Wallach in center field all the way to the snowpack, and that'll be a strike now at 1 and 2. So Central Cass, you can have outs on the way, but it's just about having productive outs. Moving guys up, sacrifice fly. Have to have something be productive here. Backstop by Vossler, able to keep it in front of him. Now 2 and 2. For Central Cass, try to have the bottom of the lineup. Keep the line moving and then see what you can do the 4th time through here against Fletcher Wilprecht. Runner at second base is Noah. Macau takes his lead. Wilprecht looks back the runner. The pitch. Swung on and missed, and that's strikeout number 7. And 1 down here as Mason Bussey will step up. But back to the Mayday basket.
Good. I want to learn more about.
You've never heard of a Mayday basket?
I've never heard of it. I'm not from this part of the world.
That's fine.
As you know, I'm not part of this. I'm not from this part of the world. I didn't grow up in North Dakota. I grew up in the Twin Cities. Maybe this is a North Dakota thing, but I can say that my fiance's never. You're talking about she might be disappointed that she's not going to get a Mayday basket. And I've never.
I think it's few and far between. I think it's more for kids and that type of variety.
I would say I've never been.
Maybe for grandparents a little bit.
I've never been scowled about not getting someone flowers on May Day.
Okay.
Now I have been scowled for not getting flowers on Valentine's Day.
1-0 pitch. This one going to be all the way to the backstop. That'll allow Macau to get to a third base here via the wild pitch. And the Squirrels, again, their first run since they scored 2 in the 3rd. Would like to add to it here so far in the 6th inning, as we have 1 out now for Central Cass. All right, so the Mayday basket moving forward. Mental note with Jake Trouble. We'll bring that up 365 days from now.
Monday's Mayday, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. This one in the dirt.
I'm a little behind the 8 ball here, Chase.
Mason Bussey now 3-0. That's what we're here for, to talk about the life of things in baseball, including what's coming up on the calendar, including my birthday, by the way. So I'll just throw that out there for you, Jake.
Okay, hey, thanks.
3-0 pitch, and I'll be in there for a strike at 3-1.
Didn't know we were doing Burt Blyleven impressions there, too, on this broadcast.
If we brought Circle Me Burt, then we definitely would be doing Burt Blyleven impressions. 3-1. That'll miss up, and that'll be a walk here for Mason Bussey. So the 8th walk of the game for Fletcher Wilprecht, as Greg Dobitz will come out. And we'll have runners at the corners with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And for Greg Dobitz with Fletcher Wilprecht, that might be the pitch count limit, I believe, here for Fletcher, and his night's going to be done. We'll take a break with him, let you know what the defensive changes will be coming up after this, as the number 9 batter, Logan Broughton, steps at the plate with runners at the corners here for Central Cass.
Hunter Insurance Agency is a locally owned full-service agency that provides protection and coverage in a number of different areas. Hunter Insurance Agency offers multi-peril crop insurance, crop hail insurance, and farm insurance for buildings and equipment. Plus, they offer home, auto, life, and business insurance. For more information, go online to hunterinsuranceagency.com or stop in and speak with Johnny Jorgensen at Hunter Insurance Agency at 109 Main Street in Hunter.
This is Bailey Scott, a senior at Fargo Davies High School and the 2022-23 North Dakota High School Activities Association Distinguished Student. Educational athletics, including games like this one, teach a lifetime values such as respect for your opponents, coaches, officials, and classmates. There are few better places than athletic competition to demonstrate respect for others. By your demonstration of respect for those participating and watching today, you underscore that the most important part of high school competition is the people involved and not the game itself. A public service message from the North Dakota High School Activities Association and this radio station.
One size does not fit all. As a small business employer, you have many great benefit options. Hello, Angela here with the IRE Insurance Benefits Connect team. We know shopping for employee insurance benefits can be a confusing and intimidating task for employers. Not to mention one more thing on your plate. Let IRE Insurance Benefits Connect guide you through the process. We take a unique approach to providing benefits through education, communication, and a personal touch. To find out more, go to ireinsurance.com.
Fletcher Wilprecht goes 5 1/3 innings here for the Oaks Tornadoes. He gives up 3 hits in this contest, 3 runs so far. He is on the hook for both the runners, 8 walks and 7 strikeouts. As the second baseman, Trainer, will come on and pitch now for the Oaks Tornadoes, and Will Precht will go to second base. So 1 down here, bottom of the 6th inning. Righty, as the runner from first going down to second. There will be no throw, and taking second base will be Bussey. Bussey in scoring position now. Logan Broughton will take a ball. 1-0 upcoming, as you'll have Carter Verkota due up next as it continues to mist here in Enderlin. Now 2-0. 12 hours and 20 minutes of baseball today here at Hendrickson Field, starting at 9 o'clock this morning. And these 2 teams going into the Saturday night hour. And that'll be in there for a strike at 2-1 in a game that now is officially 2 hours old here between the Squirrels and the Tornadoes. Runners at second and third. Bussey at second. Macau at third. This one's be hit in the air, and that's a sharp line drive that's going to split the gap to left center field. This one goes on top of the snowpack. It's a bases clearing double here for Logan Broughton, and the Squirrels are back within 3. Noah Macau will come in to score alongside with Mason Bussey. Broughton to second base. 8-5 here with the RBI double for the number 9 batter in Broughton.
What a clutch double by Broughton there, taking that pitch out to left center field just over the snowpack out there. And what do you know? We have a 3-run ball game here with 1 out in the bottom of the 6th inning.
And the game-tying run is on the on-deck circle here for Central Cass as you go back to the top of the lineup with Carter Verkota. Verkota 1 of 3 today with a double and a run scored. Central Cass looking to make the valiant comeback, trailing it 8-2 at one point in this game. That'll miss for a ball, now 2-0. And just kind of feel like if Oaks can get the next out, it might stem the tide a little bit here to try to get the second out of the inning. But if the Squirrels, it's about passing the baton to the next guy that comes up to the plate as Verkota works with a 3-0 count.
Yeah, you can definitely tell the momentum has shifted. I'm not sure if you can hear it or not on the broadcast here, but we're sitting just above the Central Cass dugout, and those guys are going wild below us.
3-0 pitch taken all the way in there for a strike at 3-1. A walk, a single, a walk, and a double with a strikeout so far here for Central Cass. 5 batters against this Oaks pitching staff. The pitch to Verkota. This one is hit on the ground, and that's going to be a C&I single. Rounding third on his way, coming in here is going to be Broughton. The throw not going to be in time. Verkota tries to get in at second, and he is out. What a play as that goes Wallach to Vossler, who's able to go to second and apply the tag with Wilprick, and out at second base is going to be Verkota. So coming in to score is Broughton, and it's going to be an RBI single, and then it's going to go 8-2 to 4 on the putout. What a play on that one, and that might be your RDK Enterprises feature precision play of the game with a loud second out. So 8-6. This one will miss for a ball to Sam Kovervig, now 1-0. So the RBI single does come in again, though, for Verkota. This one is going to be hitting in the air up the right field line foul, now 1-1. But how about the play by Wallach? We saw Wilprecht out there earlier today in the outfield make some pretty good plays, but Wallach, that was right on a one-hopper and really heads-up play again there by the catcher to get it quickly.
I think I was most impressed by Vossler to cut down that throw and say, we'll give up the run here. I can get the runner at second base.
And able to gun down Verkota. That's a tough one. You like the hustle and the play there by Verkota. That's maybe just one where you tip your cap to a guy making a better defensive play because you stay at first. Now Kovervig is the tying run at the plate instead. That's still on deck. But for Verkota, you're trying to get that extra 90 feet as this one will hit Kovervig, and there's the walk. So a hit by pitch brings Greg Dobitz to the mound here as Trainer will give up the base knock again. The runner aboard. As right now for Dobitz, they will make the change here on the mound, and we will break with them. We'll let you know who the new pitcher is coming up next here on YourLiveEvent.com.
Honesty, loyalty, integrity. At Bank North, we've remained true to these values for generations. They shape the way we do business, work with customers, and support our communities. We've been here for more than a century, helping people grow farms and businesses, finance homes, and pursue their dreams. It's values-based banking, and it's all about working together to strengthen the common threads that bind us together. Bank North, always true.
Enderlin Area Schools is committed to providing students with optimal learning opportunities so they can reach their full potential. Enderlin Area Schools creates learners who believe in the power of their education to help them learn, excel, influence their world, and direct their future. Enderlin Area Schools take pride in their school and community. For up-to-date information, go online to enderlin.k12.nd.us. Good luck to the Eagles participating in all activities throughout the year.
So coming on the pitch will be a third baseman, Hoisted now. The pitcher in terms of Wilprecht from earlier went from pitcher to second. Wilprecht now is going to be at center field. Wallach will play third base, and coming on to pitch here will be Hoisted now for the Oaks Tornadoes. So Hoisted on the mound, Vossler behind the plate, Wallach at third with Roney at short. You have Trainer back to second base with Rorick at first base, Rodin and right, Wilprecht in center, and you still have Christensen in left field. The game-tying run coming to the plate here for the Central Cass Squirrels in the bottom of the sixth inning. Runner at first base is going to be Kovervig as he takes his lead. The pitch, this one will run up. That'll be a ball now, 1-0. So Hoisted able to get through an inning and a third here for the. This one is going to be hit, and this is a deep fly ball. This could tie up the game way back to the warning track. That ball is gone on the train tracks, and we're knotted at 8 apiece with a 2-run yaya by Braden Mitchell. Mitchell with a 2-run homer here in the third spot for Central Cass, and it's an 8-8 ball game.
And how about the fact that it was an oppo? You went oppo-boppo on that one there, Chase.
Able to go to right center field, and this inning started with a walk with Cooper Johnson, a single here by Noah McCow, and then a strikeout by Parker, a walk by Bussey, a double with Broughton, and they just keep on coming here for Central Cass. So Trainer unable to record an out after 5 1/3 came through. Actually, he was able to get 1 out, but that was off the relay coming in. So just 1/3 of an inning again for Trainer. 8-8 after the 2-run blast here by Mitchell. And now Carter Maggio steps up, and he went for the solo let's take the lead swing there. It's now a 1-1 count.
Yeah, that blast there by Braden Mitchell just shows how strong of a kid he is, just to take that ball out to right center field. And it wasn't just like it just scraped over the top of the wall. I think that might have ended up on the train tracks.
The 1-1 is going to be hit up the third baseline, foul at 1-2, and it goes back to what we said earlier in the game where Oaks had a chance to really break the game open a little bit. And, yeah, Cooper Johnson maybe didn't have his best stuff, but he worked through it to minimize the damage with 4 runs in the first 3 innings here, Jake.
Yeah, did a great job on damage control and gave his team a chance to, claw themselves back into this game, which they've done. And now they have a chance here with Maggio here to potentially take the lead.
1-2 in the dirt now, 2-2 for the Tornadoes. They will send the 7, 8, and 9 batters to the lineup here in the top of the 7th inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. The 2-2 pitch from Hoisted. Swung on and miss, and that'll retire the side, but Central Cass sends 9 batters to the plate here in the 6th inning, trailing it 8-2, and they played 6 across here as we go to the top of the 7th. On our Bank North scoreboard, we're tied at 8 here on YourLiveEvent.com.
At Cass County Mutual Insurance Company, they provide services to homeowners, farm owners, tenants, seasonal dwellings, mobile homes, and farm and personal liability. Cass County Mutual Insurance provides local service to all policyholders and is working with clients in 19 counties in the southeast portion of North Dakota. For more information about Cass County Mutual Insurance Company or to find an agent closest to you, go online to CassCountyMutualInsuranceCompany.com and use their agent locator. At Castleton Lumber, they want to be part of every stage of your building project from the ground up. Let them assist with planning your project timeline in a way that's affordable and efficient. Castleton Lumber has everything you need to get the look you love with windows, siding, roofing, and doors. From choosing the right materials to the finishing touches, you can count on the folks at Castleton Lumber. Stop in and talk with the crew today or call 347-4471. That's 347-4471.
My name is Jared, born and raised in Minnesota, and I'm a project director at Enbridge. Enbridge is more than a pipeline company. It's a company participating in renewable energy projects in Minnesota and abroad, and I'm really proud to be working here.
We believe a cleaner energy future is achievable. For over 20 years, we've been early adopters of renewable energy, and we're proudly committed to net zero emissions by 2050. To hear more from Jared, visit enbridge.com/Jared. That's Jerrid.
So we got some changes. Noah McCall will come on and pitch now. Coppervig goes 3 innings, 6 strikeouts, and 3 walks as the rain is starting to really pick up here in Enderlin. As we go to the 6th inning, it was an 8-2 ball game. Now it's an 8-8 contest here in the top of the 7th. And they're going to bring the batters in for what is going to be a rain delay. You just can't make it up for the final game here in Enderlin, here in this Enderlin Baseball Jamboree. So we'll mark the time at 9:31 for the rain delay here in Enderlin. We'll find out what is going to happen between these two teams as they've already played each other here this season. And taking a look at what we have between Central Cass and alongside Oaks for games upcoming here on YourLiveEvent.com. The Squirrels will not play Oaks again and vice versa. So this is a situation where you want to get this game in, Jake. You know, if the heavens would have opened up, let's say Central Cass does not score, you probably wait 15, 20 minutes, and then you probably say, okay, if you look at the radar, it doesn't look good, let's wrap it up and call it. If it was more than a 6-run deficit, if you will. But we were talking about that there might be rain coming in the forecast here, and, well, there's just a little rain shower that is right over Enderlin, which I don't think it's going to take too much time, maybe 10, 15 minutes before we kind of get back in the field of resumption. They haven't put a tarp on the mound. They haven't put a tarp on at home plate either. We'll have a little diamond dust, but this is the hardest it's rained so far here this evening in Enderlin, Jake.
Yeah, my guess is I almost wonder if they're just going to wait for this just to kind of let up a little bit. Even if it's still a light drizzle, they might have them go back out on the field. But at the way things stand right now, it's really coming down. And I just wonder if they're going to maybe give it 10, 15 minutes and then say, all right, guys, it's a little drizzly out there. Let's see if we can get this ball game in. But the kicker to all this is it's a tie ball game. So
it allows us to have a scoring recap here because that's what you need when you have 16 runs combined. We were curious if we were going to get to 18 runs because it was 15 with Kindred Richland, 16 with Oaks, 17 with Central Cass the last 3 games by themselves. Well, we might get to 18 possibly combined, but that 2-run solo blast here by the Central Cass Squirrels that tied things up with Braden Mitchell. So right now, neither of these starting pitchers are pitchers of record for Cooper Johnson or Fletcher Wilprecht. Hoisted came on, gave up the hit and also 1 run, but one was charged to Trainer in relief as he only got 1 out coming in for Fletcher Wilprecht, who went 5 1/3, 3 hits, 5 runs, 8 walks, and 7 strikeouts. Cooper Johnson went 3 innings, 3 hits, 5 runs, 8 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Coppervig came on with 3 big innings of work, gave up just 1 hit, 6 strikeouts, and 3 walks, but a couple of runs did score just on the wild pitches pass ball variety as Macau will come on here in the 7th inning. Scoring column, Oaks with 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third, and 4 runs in the fourth. They've done it all just off of 4 hits here for the Oaks Tornadoes. They currently have 2 errors with 5 and make it 7 runners left on base. For the Central Cass Squirrels right now, no runs in the first and second, 2 in the third, 0 in the fourth, 0 in the fifth, and they put up a snowman. They put up 6 to get to the snowman in the bottom of the 6th inning. For Central Cass, 8 runs across on 6 hits so far. They do have 3 errors and 5 runners left on base so far for the Central Cass Squirrels. Christensen with the RBI for Oaks back in the top of the 1st inning. Then Trainer came in to score on a wild pitch to make it 2-0 Oaks. Rodin came in on a pass ball to make it 3-0 in the top of the 2nd. And then coming in to score was Christensen on an error in the 3rd. So after 3, it was 4-0 Oaks. After 2.5, it was 4-0 Oaks. Then the bottom of the 3rd inning, Johnson was able to get an RBI. Then there was an error which plated Verkota and Convervig, as Johnson was able to get on with a fielder's choice, and then we had the error on the relay for that double play opportunity, which allowed Convervig to come in and score to make it 4-2. Wilprecht then in the top of the 4th inning would come in on a pass ball to score. 2 RBIs with Christensen to make it 7-2 after a single that one-hopped the third baseman Mitchell at first base that kind of ricocheted off him at third. Christensen then would score on a wild pitch to make it 8-2 after 3.5. Johnson came on and scored then in the 6th inning here to start things off after a walk. Followed by that, Broughton with an RBI double to make it 8-5, and Broughton laced that one into the outfield, which brought in Macau and Bussey. Then you bring up Carter Verkota. He had an RBI single, and how big is now getting Verkota out at second base? If that's not the case, Central Cass, instead of a 2-run homer, would have hit a 3-run homer, and they would be out right now. But Verkota made it 8-6 with the RBI single. He was gunned down at home after Wallach went to Vossler. Vossler cut the play off and able to throw him out at second. Applying the tag there was at the time again in Wilprecht was able to apply the tag on that one. And then 2 batters later, after Convervig was hit by a pitch on the second pitch of the at-bat from Hoisted to Mitchell, Mitchell uncorked a high fly ball to right center field to tie this one up at 8 apiece. It's the final game of the final day of game number 12, and Jake, this one has had a little bit of everything so far in it here on YourLiveEvent.com.
Yeah, it's been crazy. Like we said, we talked about it in the middle of the ball game. This kind of feels like it's going to be a mercy rule game, and who thought that was going to happen? And all of a sudden, Central Cass comes roaring back, and now we're in a rain delay. It's nuts. This has been a crazy ball game. And the rain delay started at 9:31, so far 7 minutes in this rain delay in a contest that started back at 7:19, and they will try their darndest to get this game. If this was 2 non-region teams in an Enderlin Baseball Jamboree, you give it 5-10 minutes and say, okay, let's wrap it up, let's move on and go home. But now this is the only other time these 2 teams are scheduled to play, so you don't want to have to come to a neutral site and pick up the game where you have it started, have to go back and go, all right, Jake threw how many pitches, Chase threw how many pitches, you're kind of can't really play, you're done, you've already been subbed out for. So this is one where I think we're going to stay through this rain delay here, Jake, for another 10-15 minutes, and then allow maybe some diamond dust to get on the field, allow it to get worked a little bit. And the nice thing is where we were in the game when they stopped it, it wasn't like we had runners at the corners with 1 out. It's going to be a brand new inning in the top of the 7th. And it does look like, to my amateur meteorologist mind here, it does look like that the rain is letting up a little bit. It's not raining as hard as when the players were taken off the field and moved into their dugouts. So there is hope that this should be letting out. Like you said, you looked at the radar. It was a little blip of storms here, right just over the Enderlin area. So hopefully this rain delay isn't too long. Like you said, maybe it's 5-10 more minutes or so.
Hopefully it's not anything more than that we're going to see here in Enderlin between the Central Cass Squirrels and the Oaks Tornadoes here on YourLiveEvent.com. What we're going to do is take a quick break here, and then we'll, again, update you to what we know of that in about 2-3 minutes, see what the weather conditions are, and if it's still going to be a little bit in a pause mode, we'll just pause it to a rain delay screen and then come back and finish off this contest. What we know is this: they're going to get the game in one way, somehow, or another. Just one where you have so far in this contest 11 walks by Central Cass pitchers and 9 walks by the Central Oaks pitchers. You have 20 combined, and that's the reason why this game has really went 2 hours plus, where you've just had pitchers just unable to find the zone early to get to this situation. So on our Bank North scoreboard, it's the Oaks Tornadoes 8 and the Central Cass Squirrels 8. What we're going to do, we're going to take a quick break, see what the rain looks like in 2-3 minutes. We'll come back, and if it's still raining at that point, we will go to a rain delay screen here on YourLiveEvent.com.
Enderlin Insurance Agency welcomes all the players, coaches, and fans to the Enderlin Baseball Jamboree. At Enderlin Insurance Agency, they're here to help you protect what you've worked hard to earn. Whether it's your home, vehicle, business, or a combination of all these, they have you covered. Enderlin Insurance Agency is committed to a high standard of excellence in all that they do and to establish a firm relationship of mutual trust and service with each of their clients. Give Deb, Luba, or Adam a call today at 437-2444. The Kindred Vikings Booster Club is an organization of parents and community members that supports and encourages the advancement to Kindred athletic programs, focusing on wholesome school spirit, promoting good sportsmanship, and developing high ideals of character. For more information, or if you'd like to be part of the Kindred Vikings Booster Club, send an email to kindredboosterclub@gmail.com. That's kindredboosterclub@gmail.com. Go Vikings! It's a North Dakota All-Star Gathering on your live event, as we'll have coverage of the Shields Softball All-Star Series on June 5th and 6th.
And the 1-2. Hit on the ground. It's going to sneak through the middle for a base hit.
The Optimist Volleyball Series on June 12th and 13th.
This one comes Olivia Vetter, back set, blocked at the net.
Plus the Lions All-Star Basketball Series on July 10th and 11th.
Now it's with Class A. Here's Michael Niall with the windmill duck.
For more information, go to YourLiveEvent.com.
This is Chris from RDK Enterprises, your local precision planting dealer. Say thank you to the farmers you come into contact with every day. They have chosen a career that is as much their deep passion as it is an absolute necessity for you and I. Spring is upon us and there will be farm equipment on the roads. Give them your patience and room to do their jobs. Trust me, they would rather be off the road working in their field than dealing with traffic. From all of us here at RDK Enterprises, we say thank you and have a safe spring.
Hunter Insurance Agency is a locally owned full-service agency that provides protection and coverage in a number of different areas. Hunter Insurance Agency offers multi-peril crop insurance, crop hail insurance, and farm insurance for buildings and equipment. Plus, they offer home, auto, life, and business insurance. For more information, go online to hunterinsuranceagency.com or stop in and speak with Johnny Jorgensen at Hunter Insurance Agency at 109 Main Street in Hunter.
As we're back here, is starting to hear from some of the umpiring crew here. Greg Dobit's also coming across, and we're starting to see some of those come on the field here to have a little bit more of a take a look at the mound, make sure that footing is all slated and ready to go. As Greg Dobit's talking with Calvin Kraft right now on the mound, up the first baseline, and everybody kind of looking at their radar to see, all right, where is the storm? When is it going to possibly pass through? But the orders that we received so far is we're going to sit here and try to get some baseball in as best as possible. So we will break with them. Tied at 8 here in the top of the 7th inning. The Oaks Tornadoes are slated to bring up the bottom of the order with Rorick, Rodin, and Hoisted in the 7th. And then for Central Cass, they're going to get to the top of the lineup here as they would have batting through in the bottom of the 7th. They would bring up Johnson, McCow, and Parker. So we'll take a break with them here as they're doing some maintenance on the field right now as it continues to rain here in Enderlin, tied at 8 apiece. We will have our next update at 9:50. We will have it at 9:50 unless they're able to come on and play before then. And right now, well, Central Cass is going to take the mound here quickly, so I think they're going to say, hey, let's maybe come out on and get some opportunities here as Carter Maggio will come back on the field. So as we were just about ready to pitch it to a break, it looks like Central Cass is going to say, hey, let's have a chance to play through it as best as possible. As right now the Central Cass Squirrels are ready to go. So Greg Dobitz came across the way here, talked with Dustin Maggio for Central Cass, and I think they just gave each other a little bit of a thumbs up to say, hey, if you're good, we're good playing with this. And talking with, some of the crew here for the Enderlin Eagles to also say, we don't want to mess up the infield enough or the outfield enough kind of playing on this with some of the rain, but definitely a little bit more playable as it's maybe lightened up, Jake, I would say just a smidgen here since it came down, but you're going to definitely have to play through the elements here in this one.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it definitely has lightened up a little bit. Now, it hasn't stopped raining, but it's definitely playable at this point. Now, obviously, I mean, it's a little chilly outside, too, so it's not the most.
No, it's not the greatest.
It's definitely a cold shower.
Just above 40 degrees right now.
Definitely wouldn't want to be playing in this if I was still in high school. But I also, one thing that just crossed my mind here, Chase, as we're waiting for the both these teams to get warmed back up. We're talking about how firm the playing surface has been today, and I kind of wonder what this drizzle might have, if that kind of softens the field up a little bit in terms of balls taking weird hops in the infield and the outfield.
So McCow again will come on the third Central Cass pitcher here as he just took the mound. Here's the throwdown. So this rain delay is going to go 15 minutes as we resume play here at 9:46. So the rain delay goes 15 minutes as we're in the top of the 7th inning. The Oaks Tornadoes again, Rorick, Rodine, and Hoisted here, 7, 8, and 9 batters coming to the plate for the Oaks Tornadoes. If you're just joining us, well, you missed a lot, as they would like to say sometimes, and I'm stealing that from Moneyball when it was 15-1, where they're showing Brad Pitt, going up the freeway, missing a lot, and then he makes a turn back as McCow throws a strike here to Rorick. 0-1 on the way as the rain is starting to lighten up here. Now it's going to be 0-2.
I think it stopped raining completely here, Chase.
It's either stopped or it's just coming on a little bit here. As we're going to have, again, the umpire is going to have to come across the way up the third baseline and tell those who have their lights on to take the lights off here that are sitting in their cars or maybe warming up their cars to get ready to go back home. So that'll be left line, and we'll have one, and now we'll have to just get one more, and we'll get back to resumption of baseball. So no balls, 2 strikes here to Rorick, who's 0 for 3 today with a pair of strikeouts. McCow with the 0-2 offering. Swung on and missed, and McCow gets the strikeout. Strikeout number 11 here for Central Cass as a pitching staff, and Rodine will step up to the plate. He's walked all 3 times and scored back in the 2nd inning, has Dylan. Batter number 8 in the lineup for the Tornadoes, and he will take a strike. And how momentum has shifted since we finished the 5th inning. 6 runs in the bottom of the 6th for Central Cass. This will be a ball, now 1-1. 2-run homer again by Braden Mitchell. Tied the game at 8 apiece. 1 ball and 1 strike on the way here for McCow. And the 1-1 pitch. This one swung on and missed. And now it's going to be 1-2.
And Chase, one thing to watch here is McCow is trying to get the diamond dust out of his cleats there, his footing as he makes his delivery.
1-2 pitch. This will miss out of the zone, now 2-2. 7 innings in high school baseball. Oaks needs to score, otherwise Central Cass just only needs a run in the bottom of the 7th to finish the comeback off in style here for the Squirrels. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the 7th. This will be out of the zone and working the count full is Dylan at the plate. Hoisted, the scheduled batter, due up next here for Central Cass. You're going to have Bussey back in right, Verkota in center, Johnson in left in the outfield for Central Cass. The 3-2, and this will be a 1-out walk. So Rodin will take first base here as Hoisted will come up to the plate. Parker behind the plate at catcher, Mitchell at third base, and then you have from there Maggio is at shortstop with Bussey at second, and then Stagg is at first base here, again with Macau on the mound. Runner at first, this will be Rodin as he takes his lead. Macau looks back the runner, Rodin stays put. This one will be in there for a strike now to Hoisted at 0-1. Hoisted with the walk in the second, a walk in the fourth, and struck out swinging his last time up in the 5th. The 0-1, this will be off the catcher's glove, and actually that'll hit him. So that'll hit the batter. So Hoisted will be awarded first. Runners at first and second now with 1 out. So Rodin will take second. So a walk and a hit by batter. Runners will be at first and second base now as they're checking to see what the play is going to be with the top of the lineup coming up in Fletcher Wilprecht for the Oaks Tornadoes. Fletcher so far today with a walk and a run scored in the first, a walk in the second, a single with a run scored in the fourth, and hit into a double play his last time up to Bussey at second base. As we'll have a courtesy runner coming on here for the Tornadoes. Is coming on here for Oaks. Looks to be Christopher Titus. So Titus will come on in courtesy run right now with Rodin at second base. Fletcher Wilprecht, the 6th time, make it the 5th time through the lineup here for the Oaks Tornadoes in this 7-inning contest so far. The go-ahead run in scoring position. The pitch. This will miss for a ball low at 1-0. As Macau right now just trying to find a way to get on the inning with a goose egg. Swung on and miss. Now 1-1. James Traynor due up next. A strikeout with Rorick. Rodin with a walk. Hoisted with a hit by pitch, and then courtesy run here for Titus at first base. So runner at first and second. 1-1 pitch upcoming here with 1 out in the top of the 7th. This one will miss for a ball at 2-1. Central Cass again. They will send Johnson, Macau, and Parker, the 5, 6, and 7 batters, to the plate in the bottom of the 7th inning. Just a matter of, are they going to be trailing, or do they just need a run to come across and finish off the game? 2 balls, 1 strike to the leadoff batter here for the Tornadoes in the top of the 7th inning. Macau looks back the runner and the 2-1 offering. This one will miss out of the zone now, 3-1. Kind of feels like what we saw in the first, second, and third, taking some pitches, finding ways to get aboard even with it was the walk, and that's what we're seeing with Fletcher Wilprecht right now, looking for his 3rd walk of the contest. Macau with the 3-1 pitch, and he'll get his 3rd walk of the contest, and bases are loaded for Oaks. The 3rd consecutive free pass here after getting a strikeout for Macau, and again, just trying to find his footing a little bit on the mound here too. So bases are loaded as Dustin Johnson will come out here. Runner at third base, going to be Rodin. At second is Titus. At first is Wilprecht here. So bases full of Tornadoes, and now we'll just come out here, obviously say where it's going to be in the infield. If it's at the corners or the pitcher, go home. Make sure you get the lead runner there. Then it's just a matter, do you bring the whole infield in, or do you allow your up the middle in terms of Conrabig and Maggio? Do you trust him if the ball comes towards them, Jake, to maybe turn 2?
Yeah, I think that's probably that has to be the play. I mean, I feel like that's probably an easier play for them to make, to try to turn 2 versus having them playing them in and having them go home. I think what you do is you bring the corner infielders in and have those middle infielders at double play depth, and just hope that a hard hit ball is hit at somebody directly, and hopefully you can turn a double play. If not, you try to get the out at home plate.
For Central Cass, they will get their crack at it one more time at the plate. So that's the good news here from a Central Cass point of view. But you don't want to start allowing the carousel to go around the merry-go-round, if you will, if you are the Oaks Tornadoes from a Central Cass point of view. Here's the pitch to Trainer. This one will be out of the zone for the ball. Now 1-0. James with 2 walks in the game with 2 runs scored with a stolen base back in the first inning. Currently in this one, 0 for 2 from the plate. The 1-0 pitch. This one is hit in the air, and that's over Covervig. 1 run's coming in. Titus on his high horse from third. He's rounding. This one will come, and it's an RBI single. And staying put at second base is going to be Wilprecht, but it's 2 runs driven in, and Oaks now takes a 10-8 lead. Rodin will come in. Titus comes in to score. Wilprecht goes first to second, and Trainer with the RBI. 2 RBI single here makes it 10-8 Oaks.
Trainer kind of tomahawked that into right field there for the 2-run single.
So 2 RBI single here as this comes in the top of the 7th inning, and Oaks retakes the lead here in the top of the 7th as a 6th batter coming to the plate in Xavier Vossler. Vossler 0 for 3 today with a walk back in the 4th inning. This one will be a ball now 1-0. So runner at first base is Trainer with Wilprecht at second. 1-0 pitch upcoming here is stepping off is going to be Macau. So Macau with a 3-pitch strikeout on Rorik. And since then, 4 consecutive batters have reached 2 walks, a hit by batter, and a single here. And now another base knock could add on to it. Here with a 2-run advantage for Oaks in the 7th. Macau, the pitch, swung on and miss. That'll be 1-1. Xavier Vossler, the catcher here. Following him is Gavin Christensen on the on-deck circle here for the Tornadoes. Taking his lead off a second again is Wilprecht. Macau with a long look back and the pitch. 1-1, this gets by the catcher Parker as it'll go up, and a little shake and a little dance there at second base will allow Wilprecht maybe getting a little bit of Macau's head there and able to get up to third base. So it'll be a wild pitch right now. Now the infield's got to come in and cut the runner off at home. So 1 out here, and if you're Xavier Vossler, you're looking to put something up in the outfield in the air, maybe on a sacrifice fly or something better. 2-1. That one's going to miss for a ball, now 3-1. Christensen again due up next. You do have a base to give. However, you don't want to keep putting runners on here for Oaks, considering you're trailing it by 2 now. With only the bottom of the 7th, that is guaranteed for Central Cass. And the pitch. This one is going to be hit, and a CNI single gets 1 run. Greg Dobitz is reigning trainer, and here's the throw from Johnson. That's going to airmail. It's going to be a 2 RBI single, rounding second on his way to third. Here comes Xavier Vossler. He's going to have a head-first slide, and he's in there with a bases-clearing knock. Wilprecht comes in to score. Trainer comes in to score. Vossler goes from first to third with a single, and then the air that came in. So now all of a sudden it's the Oaks Tornadoes up 12-8 with 4 runs of their own in the top of the 7th inning.
Yeah, Chase Central Cass brought the infield in, and Vossler made him pay for doing that and found the hole between third and short and ended up driving in 2 runs, and he was able to advance to third base on an errant throw at home.
There's an old saying in baseball, infield tight, hitters delight. And that's what we've seen a little bit here from from Trainer and Vossler. And now Gavin Christensen will step up to the plate. Christensen 2 for 3 today with 2 runs scored and a couple of runs driven in as he fouls this one off. Now 0-1, and there's still only 1 out here. And we've mentioned it before, how much is too much? Well, we saw Central Cass with 6 runs in the 6th. So trailing it by 4 right now. Here's the 0-1 pitch. This one will miss for a ball, now 1-1. The 7th batter of this inning up for the Oaks Tornadoes. And they've had 6 consecutive batters, make that 5 consecutive batters reach base. a walk by Rodin, a hit batter by Hoisted, who was courtesy run for by Titus. You had Wilprecht with a walk, Trainer with an RBI, a 2 RBI single, then Vossler with the 2 RBI single, and it was awarded third base after the throwing error. 4 runs so far here for the Tornadoes in this 7th inning, just off of 2 hits. 1 ball, 1 strike. Macau with the pitch. This one is hit in the air to left field. Johnson comes in, makes the catch. They're looking for the sacrifice fly, and they're going to get it. Coming in to score is going to be Vossler. Christensen adds another RBI to his collection here tonight, and it's 13-8 Oaks. Christensen just been able to barrel up the baseball a ton here today, Jake, and put it in play.
Yeah, good piece of hit in there from Christensen. Didn't need to do too much with that. Just needed to try to bring that runner in from third base and push the lead out to 5.
Christensen had the first RBI of the game for Oaks, and he might now have the last RBI of the game for Oaks unless the Tornadoes can get a 2-out rally going here for the team clad in black. Central Cass will still have a chance to answer in the bottom half of their inning as Brogan Roney comes up to the plate, swung on and missed. Roney so far here today is 1 of 3 from the plate with a single and a walk back in the 1st and the 3rd inning. The 8th batter to the plate here for the Oaks Tornadoes. But Christensen, again, an RBI to make it 1-0. Came in to score on the air at 4-0, and then came in a little bit later on with an RBI as well to make it 7-2 at one point in the 4th inning.
That seems like another ball game ago.
It just feels like it a little bit after the 15-minute rain delay. The pitch. This one is going to be hit on the ground right to the shortstop here to Maggio, and this is going to be an errant throw. Rounding first, on his way to second is Roney, and Roney will stop there on the E6, and Oaks will bring the 9th batter to the dish. Since we got done with the rain delay at 9:46, it's been a 15-minute top of the 7th inning here for Oaks. And with Macau on the mound right now, they've been able to bat around here as Max Wallach will step up to the plate, who's 0 for 4 today with 3 strikeouts. Runner at second base is Roney. Macau 1 out away from getting the bats up to the plate in the bottom of the 7th inning. The pitch, that'll be in there for a strike, now 0-1. So 1 strikeout, a sacrifice fly, the 2 outs here, and then there's been a couple of errors in this inning. This one in there for a strike, now 0-2. A throwing error by Johnson, and then throwing error there by Maggio to allow the inning to extend with Roney, causing Stagg to kind of come up the first base line there. 0-2 pitch from Macau. Swung on and missed, and that'll retire the side, but the damage is done. 9 batters to the plate, 5 runs are in. Central Cass down to their final 3 outs, trailing by 5. They scored 6 in the 6th. Can they do 5 in the 7th or more? We'll find out when we return here on your live event.
This is Bailey Scott, a senior at Fargo Davies High School and the 2022-23 North Dakota High School Activities Association Distinguished Student. Educational athletics, including games like this one, teach a lifetime values such as respect for your opponents, coaches, officials, and classmates. There are few better places than athletic competition to demonstrate respect for others. By your demonstration of respect for those participating and watching today, you underscore that the most important part of high school competition is the people involved and not the game itself. A public service message from the North Dakota High School Activities Association and this radio station.
One size does not fit all. As a small business employer, you have many great benefit options. Hello, Angela here with the Irie Insurance Benefits Connect team. We know shopping for employee insurance benefits can be a confusing and intimidating task for employers. Not to mention one more thing on your plate. Let Irie Insurance Benefits Connect guide you through the process. We take a unique approach to providing benefits through education, communication, and a personal touch. To find out more, go to IrieInsurance.com.
Honesty, loyalty, integrity. At Bank North, We've remained true to these values for generations. They shape the way we do business, work with customers, and support our communities. We've been here for more than a century, helping people grow farms and businesses, finance homes, and pursue their dreams. It's values-based banking, and it's all about working together to strengthen the common threads that bind us together. Bank North, always true.
13 hours of baseball here today for Enderlin, and we're still not done as we're into the blackened hour here at Hendrickson Field in Enderlin, North Dakota. Chase Miller, Jake Watroba with you here. Central Cass Squirrels scored 6 runs in the 6th. They were able to bat around and hit a 2-run shot in that inning to tie it up at 8 apiece. There are so many different variations where we saw different plays. A wild pitch earlier that was in the 2nd inning where Vossler able to come out of his crouch to the backstop, throw to Wilprek to retire the batter at home. And, you know, that was a 3-1 game at that particular time. Instead now, all of a sudden you look back, there's so many mini plays like that, Jake, in a game like this where you say, what if? But the what if right now is this for Central Cass. Down by 5 with 3 outs to play here in the bottom of the 7th.
Right, and they've shown they put on display in the 6th inning. They can hang a crooked number, 5 or more runs in an inning, and they're capable of doing it again here in the bottom of the 7th. This game is weird, especially after this rain delay. You don't know how some of these players for Oaks are going to react to going back on the field with having that 15-minute delay.
Johnson takes a strike as Hoisted comes on. So far, going to the 7th inning here for Hoisted. He did give up that 2-run shot. Got a third of an inning worked in him. Cooper Johnson here today with a walk with a run scored is currently 0 for 2 from the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Johnson, McCow, and Parker here for the Squirrels. This one is hit in the air. That's the right center field, and that's going to spell trouble here for the Oaks Tornadoes. Johnson rounding first, on his way to second. Here comes Wolprecht with the throw in, and that'll go to second. The throw able to beat Johnson, but not with the play. And, well, how do you start off down by 5? You get an extra base knock to right center field.
Yeah, just get on any way you can, either by walk, by hit, by hook, by crook, Get on any way you can there, and that's a good start for the Central Cass Squirrels, a leadoff double.
Noah McCow will come up now with a ground out, a strikeout, and a single with a run scored back in the 6th inning. As right now you have the leadoff batter at second base. This one will miss for a ball, 1-0. So you just start wondering, okay, how quickly can you get the tying run to the on-deck circle? How quickly can you get the tying run to the plate? That's what Central Cass will try to do here as McCow takes a big rip at that one at 1-1.
McCow tried getting 2 of those runs back right there.
Very, very so. Bare minimum here for the Squirrels, looking to find a way to get that tying run to the plate here in the bottom of the 7th. This one is blocked in the dirt now, 2-1. After McCow, it goes Parker, Bussey, Broughton, and then to the top of the lineup here in a game that has gone close to now knocking on the door of 3 hours, including that 15-minute rain delay here in Enderlin. Hoisted looks back, the runner, the pitch. Swung on, and, well, that was missed here, and McCow went up hop for the high fastball. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes, and we still got a post-game show to do. Going to be here till the bottom of the hour, maybe 11 o'clock. Who knows? Maybe 5 runs comes across Jake, and let's play extras.
Hey, I might spend Mayday here.
2-2 on the way for Hoisted. Swung on and missed, and McCow is strikeout number 1 here for Hoisted in relief, and out number 1 in the bottom of the 7th inning. As you'll have Jackson Parker stepping up here for the Central Cass Squirrels. 13-8 Oaks. In the bottom of the 7th inning, runner at second base again is Cooper Johnson. Parker will step up to the plate. This one will be a ball. Now 1-0. Parker today 0 for 1 from the plate with a pair of walks. As Vossler will come out right now and talk with Hoisted a little bit, give him a chance to collect his footing and also go over the signs here with Cooper Johnson at second base. After Parker, it's Bussey.
And Vossler's done a great job of knocking down those balls in the dirt here, keeping that runner at second base.
Taking his lead here is Cooper Johnson. The pitch, that'll miss, and 2-0. And you can see Cooper Johnson kind of waving a little bit if it was going to be down low and trying to give a sign to see where Vossler is going to set up. 2 balls, no strikes here on the way to Jackson Parker, the 2-0. That'll miss up. Now 3-0, and you got to expect a take here. Trailing it by 5, where you just need to get runners on and force the pitcher again and hoist it a throw on across the plate. 3 balls, no strikes. The pitch. That'll be a 4-pitch walk here for the Squirrels, and now they'll have runners at first and second. So 1 out here, and the game-tying run not on deck, but in the hole. So it's becoming a little bit closer for Central Cass.
And if you're Central Cass, like you said, you just need base runners here. You don't need to get super aggressive like in that 3-0 count there. Just take, we just need to get on. We don't need doubles are nice, triples, home runs are nice, but just need to get guys on. Just need to bring that, tying run to the plate.
And for the Oaks Tornadoes, the opposite is just find a way to get an out, right? It doesn't matter if you give up a run or two, just find a way to get an out right now, get that second one, and if you're fortunate, maybe you can turn 2 with Bussey at the plate. Bussey, breaking ball, takes a strike, now 0-1. Mason Bussey with a walk and a stolen base and a run scored in the 6th is 0 for 2 today at the plate at the number 8 batter here in the lineup for Central Cass. Runners at first and second, 1 out again in the bottom of the 7th, 0-1 pitch, fouled back now 0-2. After Bussey, Logan Broughton, last time up, roped one to right center field for a double, which at that point was an RBI double to make it 8-5 on the 2 RBI. Runner at second again is Johnson. At first is Parker. No balls, 2 strikes to the number 8 batter, Mason Bussey, here for Hoisted. And the 0-2. This one is hit in the air. That's to right field. The right fielder, Rodine, able to come under it. Johnson bluffs a tag at second, and good job by Rodine in right field. And that'll be allowed out number 2 here. And the Squirrels are down to their final out here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Now at the plate, number 13, Sam Steve.
And Stagg will come on here now for the Central Cass Squirrels, as this will be Stagg's first plate appearance of the night. Down to their final out for Central Cass. The pitch. This will miss for a ball, 1-0. And if you're unable to get Stagg, then you go to the top of the lineup here to Carter Verkota. And right now, with Hoisted, inning of work in relief so far, and the pitch. This one in the dirt. Vossler able to stop that one. Cooper Johnson still stands at second after that leadoff double here to start the bottom of the 7th inning. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs here with 2 runners on in the bottom of the 7th. The pitch. Now 3-0 to Stagg and the number 9 batter, as Verkota just chomping at the bit to climb aboard one more time in the batter's box on the on-deck circle. 3-0. You got to imagine again the tank is on here for a Squirrel batter, and that is going to be a strike. Now 3-1. Squirrels left 2 runners on the first, 1 in the second, third, and fourth. The Tornadoes left at least a runner on in every inning except the 5th. 3-1 pitch on the way. This one going to be strike 2. So after falling behind the count, 2 on the chalk here for Hoisted. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Central Cass down to their final strike here in the bottom of the 7th inning. The 3-2 pitch by Hoisted. This is going to be hit in the air. That's to center, and one hop the center fielder Wilprecht. The runner Johnson comes around. Here's the throw. Not in time. It's an RBI single, and the Squirrels are back within 4. Staying did a really good job staying behind that one and shooting it to center field.
Great piece of clutch hitting there. That 3-2 count, 2 outs. All the pressure on Stagg there, and able to flick that ball into center field and extend this inning and this rally for the Central Cass Squirrels. And now all of a sudden, the tying runs on deck.
So Stagg with the RBI single here. Verkota, if he can get aboard, Covervig, as Jake mentioned, would be the tying run. But first they got to get one more batter, find a way to get aboard here. Well, it's the final out for Hoisted, and that final out sometimes is the hardest out to get. 1-0 on the way here to Verkota. Now it's going to be 1-1. Verkota with a double and a run scored in the third, a single in the sixth inning as well. 2 for 4 so far here today from the plate for Central Cass. 1 ball, 1 strike, bottom of the seventh to leadoff batter. 1-1 pitch swung on. Now it's 1-2. Squirrels again back to their final strike here in this contest. Runner at first is Stagg. Runner at second is Parker. Central Cass down by 4 to their final strike. This one in the dirt. Vossler going to have to go to first, does, and that'll finish the ball game off at 10-14 via the strikeout with Hoisted. A game that goes 2 hours and 55 minutes here in Enderlin, including that 15-minute rain delay. Hoisted is going to pick up the win. Picking up the loss will be Macau. And the Oaks Tornadoes go to 3-2 on the season, while the Central Cass Squirrels, they drop to 4-2. Your final, the Oaks Tornadoes 13, the Central Cass Squirrels 9. Central Cass does score 1 run in the bottom of the 7th inning off of 2 hits. There were no errors and 2 runners left on base. As we'll go to our post-game show, we'll hear from a particular player from the Oaks Tornadoes coming up next here on YourLiveEvent.com.
Enderlin Area Schools is committed to providing students with optimal learning opportunities so they can reach their full potential. Enderlin Area Schools creates learners who believe in the power of their education to help them learn, excel, influence their world, and direct their future. Enderlin Area Schools take pride in their school and community. For up-to-date information, go online to enderlin.k12.nd.us. Good luck to the Eagles participating in all activities throughout the year. Cass County Mutual Insurance Company, they provide services to homeowners, farm owners, tenants, seasonal dwellings, mobile homes, and farm and personal liability. Cass County Mutual Insurance provides local service to all policyholders and is working with clients in 19 counties in the southeast portion of North Dakota. For more information about Cass County Mutual Insurance Company or to find an agent closest to you, go online to CassCountyMutualInsuranceCompany.com and use their agent locator. At Castleton Lumber, they want to be part of every stage of your building project from the ground up. Let them assist with planning your project timeline in a way that's affordable and efficient. Castleton Lumber has everything you need to get the look you love with windows, siding, roofing, and doors. From choosing the right materials to the finishing touches, you can count on the folks at Castleton Lumber. Stop in and talk with the crew today or call 347-4471. That's 347-4471.
Bottom of the 7th inning, the Central Cass Squirrels able to score 1, but unable to score 5, in which they needed after the Oaks Tornadoes scored 5 after the rain delay here in Enderlin. The Oaks Tornadoes pick up the win 13-9. The game-winning hit will be with Trainer with the 2 RBI single that came on after Rodin and Hoisted were able to get aboard with a walk and a hit batter. And then the bases were loaded after Wilprecht was able to earn a walk, and Trainer came on and plated both Rodin and Hoisted to make it 10-8. And following that, the Oaks Tornadoes go on for the 13-9 victory here on YourLiveEvent.com. Oaks with 13 runs on 6 hits, 2 errors, and 8 runners left on base. Central Cass with 9 runs on 8 hits. There was 4 errors and 7 runners left on base. Let's get to our RDK Enterprise feature precision play of the contest, and that'll be with the Trainer 2 RBI single to make it 10-8 in the 7th inning and give eventually the Oaks Tornadoes the win here with the game-winning hit. James Trainer with the RDK Enterprises feature precision play the contest with that 2 RBI single. If your planter is not ready to go on the field, contact RDK Enterprises of Hillsborough and Drayton at RDK Enterprises. They're here to help you have a safe spring in the fields and on the roadways. Visit planterdoc.com. That again is planterdoc.com. We'll take a break. When we come back after this, we'll hear from our Enbridge Energy player of the game next here on your live event.
My name is Jared, born and raised in Minnesota, and I'm a project director at Enbridge. Enbridge is more than a pipeline company. It's a company participating in renewable energy projects in Minnesota and abroad, and I'm really proud to be working here.
We believe a cleaner energy future is achievable. For over 20 years, we've been early adopters of renewable energy, and we're proudly committed to net zero emissions by 2050. To hear more from Jared, visit enbridge.com/Jared. That's JERRID.
Enderlin Insurance Agency welcomes all the players, coaches, and fans to the Enderlin Baseball Jamboree. At Enderlin Insurance Agency, they're here to help you protect what you've worked hard to earn. Whether it's your home, vehicle, business, or a combination of all these, they have you covered. Enderlin Insurance Agency is committed to a high standard of excellence in all that they do and to establish a firm relationship of mutual trust and service with each of their clients. Give Deb, Luba, or Adam a call today at 437-2444.
Joining us now is our Enbridge Energy Player of the Game here. That's Fletcher Wilprecht here for the Oaks Tornadoes. And Fletcher, first and foremost, congratulations on the win. You had to wait 15 minutes for the rain delay after Central Cass ties the game up with 6 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning. So let's take us through that rain delay. What was the talk in the dugout after a 2-run homer came from Central Cass with Brady Mitchell to tie the game up, and then kind of the heavens opened up here in Enderlin?
Well, after I went out, I ended up pitching my limit. So the younger guys came in, my fellow foreman boys. They came in a little rocky to start, but they settled in, got the job done. Rain delay. After it was a big strikeout by Mike to get the Carter out, so it was great to see that. And so we got in the dugout, and everyone's heads down. We brought him back in the game. Didn't think that was gonna happen, but you know, we just got together. We're just talking. We actually had Angry Birds download on the tablet, so we got some games in there. But no, yeah, everyone just came together. Music was getting us going, and once the rain stopped, we knew we'd go back to work. So that's what we delivered.
Yeah, and you're able to, in the top of the 7th inning, you know, Dylan able to get aboard, and then you had Michael Hoysted, Will, yourself as well. You have bases loaded, and then James comes up to the plate, and once you got that one through and 2 RBIs, what's kind of going through your mind to say, okay, do you feel like you had a little bit of a breath coming back here with the bases loaded, able to see, you know, James deliver in that situation?
Well, James did deliver. We had a little player, or the guys that were on base went over to the coach. James looked a little shooken up, but I made sure I said, this is the big at bat. I said, this is what matters more than anything that happened in the rest of the game. So I looked at him, got him locked in, and he got the single, got a couple runs in. But we knew, obviously, 2 runs wasn't going to be enough since we ended up giving him 6 runs the last inning. So, yeah, we locked in, got a couple more hits, got a couple more runs, and Mike finished it off in the bottom of the 7th.
Fletcher, have you been part of a game like this, just crazy back and forth, you know, 13-9? I mean, there was about 20 walks combined in this game between both teams, the same amount of strikeouts, a bunch of big hits, just the ebbs and flows. How fun was this to be playing in this type of atmosphere?
Oh, it was a great atmosphere. I mean, I'm hearing my mom every play out in the grandstand, so, I mean, she's always keeping me going. Yeah, I definitely had a few walks that I wish I could have back. I wasn't having the greatest bend in my curve today, but no, it was get castling at any time after, especially what happened in basketball, going into that when we're both undefeated. So no, it was just good to have this one. It was a good feeling.
Final thing for you, Fletcher, what do you hope to take moving forward here as you do get into the month of May? I mean, there's only 2.5 weeks of the regular season left. Obviously, every win very important in terms of where you're going to be in the Region 1 standings at some point once we get to the middle part of May. But what did you like from your team here for the couple of games? You played 3 games here down in Enderlin.
Just being able to just come out and deliver. I mean, we knew coming into this game it was going to be tough, and we played a game. It's going to be cold. We don't really deal with cold very well, seems like, at practice anyway. So, no, yeah, we got a big couple games coming up next week. Got to have them, but every game matters, like I said. Like, we got Kinder next week, big ones. So it's good to pick this one off. This is going to be a big jump for the rest of the region seeding.
Hey, Fletcher, thanks so much for your time and best of luck moving forward.
I appreciate it.
Fletcher Wilprecht here is our Enbridge Energy Player of the Game for us. We'll take a quick break and we'll put a bow on the Enderlin Jamboree on your live event.
The Kindred Vikings Booster Club is an organization of parents and community members that supports and encourages the advancement to Kindred athletic programs, focusing on wholesome school spirit, promoting good sportsmanship, and developing high ideals of character. For more information, or if you'd like to be part of the Kindred Vikings Booster Club, send an email to kindredboosterclub@gmail.com. That's kindredboosterclub@gmail.com. Go Vikings!
Fletcher Wilprecht again is our Enbridge Energy Player of the Game. This one, go to enbridge.com for opportunities. So here's the finals again today on the final day of the Enderlin Baseball Jamboree on YourLiveEvent.com. Kinder Richmond with a 5-2 win over Northern Cass in a non-conference win. Northern Cass then picks up a 6-inning, 12-1 win over the Ball Stars. Kindred Richland 15-3 in 5 innings over Enderlin. Also in 5, 16-6 Oaks over the Enderlin Eagles. Then the Central Cass Squirrels went in 5 with the Ball Stars 17-0. And then the final here that went the distance, 7 innings plus a rain delay, 13-9. The Squirrels cut a 6-run deficit. They tie up the game at 8 apiece. Oaks with 5 runs in the top of the 7th after the 15-minute rain delay, and they win it 13-9 here on your live event. We'd like to thank all of our sponsors for allowing us to be here on behalf of our great crew here on YourLiveEvent.com. That is Reggie Funk alongside Joey Hughes. He's Jake Watroba. I'm Chase Miller that joined you here this weekend down in Enderlin. If you missed any part of our broadcast, you can do so by going to YourLiveEvent.com. So that's a final here in Enderlin. 13-9 Oaks over the Squirrels. We're back on Monday for some more baseball and softball throughout the week. For more games on our schedule, go to YourLiveEvent.com. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and a good Saturday night from Enderlin.